Okay, we are live. What's everybody up to tonight? Got something in the mail today. Got me a little Santa's cap. Go Gators. Now that we got a coach. Now we got a coach, and we got a lot of new freshmen coming in next year. Sorry about that, Zombie. You guys are going to have some new kids on the block, literally and figuratively. So you're going to be, you guys are going to have a little bit more trouble next year. But I love that you guys beat Alabama. I'm loving that, man. I love seeing Alabama get their butt kicked. I know there's a few people out there that like Alabama, but my grandfather went to Alabama. I don't know why I knock on Alabama so much, but I mean, I'm from there. It's my family origin is Alabama, Tennessee, that area. Okay, let me pull up the chat real quick.
And these Sawless Frontiers may be bugging out more. I mean, this is the second one I've run in where.
Oh, I got words. Tonight. Oh, by the way, Kingsley, in one of the recent podcasts, maybe even the previous one, I don't know, you mentioned that you killed Lumi, but in the fact he teleports away before you can kill him. That's what I thought. See? Thank you, Doctor. I could have sworn he teleported. Thank you. I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was going nuts.
For the game, for completing the mission, yeah, I know what I meant.
Okay.
It's like you kill.
I took it literally.
The completion, the health bar went all the way down.
I took it literally. I thought, well, I don't remember him being destroyed, but maybe I'm just not thinking clearly here. I don't know.
Lume.
Anyway, yeah, Lume. Is
that his name?
We're going to mention his name tonight.
Lume.
Yeah, we're going to mention his name tonight in lore. So, all right, I think we're good to go here. Yeah, thank you, Doctor. It was bothering me too, man, because I listened to it back earlier today. I was listening back to the last week's show, and I'm like, man, I could have sworn he just like vanished. It's not like he died. I think he just vanished, and so did, of course, Bale.
Yeah,
Bale
red
did
subclass.
too.
Ha ha ha! Everyone thinks the red class subclass is still coming like next week because of all the red that came out.
Seriously, they need to just let that go.
I can't believe people are still going on about that.
They need to let that go.
It's such a conspiracy theory at this point. Like, people are believing it'll come like any day now. Like, oh, it's got to be in the dungeon. It's got to be coming next week. Or
did you hear that? Did you hear that one video that that it was an up and starting YouTuber that had like a whiteboard and he was explaining to everybody why, and it actually made sense. I actually watched that. It made sense what he was talking about, but I just don't know.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know if Bungie's that deep.
I did watch that, and it doesn't matter because it made sense a year ago also, and it makes sense a year from now. But it's not going to happen until Bungie talks about it. They are never going to sell a DLC without talking about a subclass.
I agree with you, man.
They are not going to keep that a secret.
Yeah,
I guarantee 1000% they would not have as many people buying the DLC if people didn't know that.
Right. Okay. Well,
yeah, this is the second one. It bugged out.
I thought it was going crazy.
Man,
really?
What's going on tonight?
All right. Let's go ahead and get started here. Everybody's here. They're waiting for the show. So. Okay, here we go. That's set. Yes.
That's cool as far as like the technical, as far as lore.
You're right. Yeah, I was riding along with him. It kind of made sense. Paracausal and all that.
I don't care. I just meant it like I completed the mission, killed him because the bar went all the way down.
Well, right.
But yes, for the lore, I agree. We should be correct about it.
Yeah, he talks to you afterwards, so it further reinforces that he's still alive. Okay, good to know, Doctor. Thank you, man. In chat, Yobi the Bear, the Doctor, Zombie Pops. Still can't get rid of the Gator stuff. And then, of course, Taja. Welcome, everybody, in the Discord tonight. Welcome, everybody, in the chat, in our YouTube and Twitch. Welcome. And, okay, I think we're ready to go here. Let's podcast.
Oh, yeah.
3, 2. Well, what's up, Guardian? Welcome to episode 334. Guardian Downcast. I'm your host, Todd the Gator, and I'm a day one Guardian who loves gaming and especially the Destiny franchise. We're the podcast that's all about your stories, your community, and your destiny. For those of you who may have just discovered our podcast, we're a weekly gaming show with an emphasis on the Destiny franchise, but we like to sprinkle in some entertainment and other topics of discussion relating to our hobby as well from time to time on our roundtable episodes, which are typically every month, not this month, but starting next month, the holidays this month, so things are a little jumbled this month. Anyway, you can see us live on Todd the Gator. That's on YouTube and Twitch. That's TODDTHEGATR. And of course, our Discord community where we go live on our actual live stage channel every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And of course, we have the replays on Twitch and YouTube if you want to see our beautiful faces and go from there. And of course, what would be a show without my co-host from the great state of Utah, Mr. Kingsley Mack? How you doing again tonight, Mike?
Yeah, rock and roll, and glad to be here tonight. I guess it is warmer a lot of places in the U.S. because even in Utah, in the middle of December, we hit the upper 60s today. So
What? You had 60s too?
pretty warm. Well, maybe mid 60s. I'll check again what the high was today.
Yeah,
but,
man.
it was pretty warm.
It was beautiful. It was the most perfect day today. It was high 66. We're probably gonna be low in the like upper 40s tonight. No breeze, just like a slight little jaunt of a breeze. I mean, working in it today was just, this is why I live in Florida, man, because of these times. All you in Michigan and all those areas that are New England, you can flick me off right now. It's fine. I do it every year and everybody gets pissed when I throw
if you look, the whole West is pretty warm. Only Florida on the East is warm. So it's kind of like
the
warmth
East is
coming
slammed
down diagonally.
Yeah, the East is slammed right now. They're not happy right now. I guarantee you. People in Ohio and even Tennessee, maybe even North Carolina. I don't know what it's like over there, zombie, in North Carolina, but it's beautiful in Florida, man.
It's 58 right now, which is pretty warm for 7 o'clock at night in Utah.
No. It is. We're dipping quickly to the 40s. We're at 52 right now, so we're going to be in the high 40s in about probably another hour or so. It was dropping pretty quick. I was taking my dog for a walk, and I was like, "Woo!" I had just sweatpants and a t-shirt on. I was like, "Okay, come on, dog, get your business done with."
There's the latest weather.
Oh yeah, I see it there. Yeah. The Northeast is definitely cold. So anyway, enough about weather. In today's show, it is the second week of the Destiny's latest expansion, Renegades. We're going to talk about what we have played so far and our takes on it. Kingsley has some new information on the new Vanguard alerts this week. And there was a new faction rally this week. I didn't hear about this, but we'll get into that.
No.
No?
Don't call it that.
Okay.
It's not a faction rally.
Whatever. Anyway, I think they mentioned it in the TWAB, but we'll get into that later on. We go over any news from, of course, this week in Destiny, getting ready for this week's Equilibrium dungeon race on Saturday. For our topic of the week, I wanted to go over some lore surrounding one of the new nemesis of the Renegades campaign, and that would be Baal. And I have a question for Kingsley after I read it. If there's any questions from our community, we'll be sure to answer those later in the show as well. So if you do have a question for us, I mean, you're watching now and you're like, oh, I forgot to put in a question this week. Podcast questions channel in our Discord. That's discord.gg/Guardian Downcast. Throw it in there. And in about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, we'll be looking into that channel if we have any questions for the show. And if we don't, we'll just keep moving on. But that is, I think that's all we got tonight. We got the Game Awards going on right now as we speak. Kingsley's got a third monitor up. So if anything comes up that we need a live update on, Kingsley will be sure to, mention that live on the show as well. So if everyone's ready, let's roll. All right, Kingsley. Well, let's get into it, man.
It up. Sorry.
Let's get into it this week, man.
Monitor.
Oh, well, second monitor. You only have 2 monitors? How many monitors do you have?
I got 4. I can have 10 monitors if I want, but I only want 2 on my desk.
Dude, I have 4 monitors and 2 of them are just regular HD monitors and 2 are 4K monitors. And every time I turn on a monitor or move something around or switch inputs on one of them, my video card's like, whoa, everything's just kind of like, oh, okay, hold on. And it all comes together.
Sometimes people with a million monitors make their life more complicated for
I
themselves.
love it, man. I have an extra monitor up here if I want to move anything I want to read on the side, like the Game Awards. I should probably put them up there, but I'd be way too distracted. There's
this little thing called switch tabs and hide windows. It's very easy to switch between things.
I can't do that.
The key commands.
I can't do that. That's way too difficult, man. I'd rather just buy a monitor and just put it up there. Anyway, hey, let's before we get into the new latest from Renegades. What have you been doing this week, man? I got a couple things some key things I wanted to mention this week, but kind of milestone things. But we'll start with you, man. What have you been doing this week? What you been up to?
Let's see. Caring for my plants. I mention briefly, I have a hydroponic plant system
Yes.
called Garden,
Well,
GARDYN.
and what kind of plants are you growing
Yeah.
in there, Kingsley? I'm just curious.
Ooh, all sorts: bunching
Okay.
onions, basil,
Oh, okay.
cilantro.
I thought it was that
It's
other
like
basil.
30 different plants.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I see what you were saying, but
Okay. I got you. I got you.
I think
That's
for the
cool.
other kind, it needs to be a little more climate controlled
Yeah.
and watched over.
Okay. All right. I wouldn't know anything about
But
that.
you are
So
allowed to in Utah with a medical
really?
license.
Oh my
A
gosh.
little bit.
It's funny.
Yeah,
I had
you
a
are.
client one time. I was taking care of a lawn. I looked next door and I had all these pot plants just growing in plastic containers, just sitting on the side of this person's house. I'm like, I don't think that's legal. What the heck? I'm looking over there. I'm like, he had some fat
No, no.
buds. He had some
I
fat
just
buds
want
growing on it.
I just want life to be easy. So this
Yeah.
system
Yeah.
makes those plants grow easily
My
because it auto
sister,
waters and auto lights
my
and
sister has
everything.
2 of those and she loves them. She swears by them. She
Yeah.
has even a portable one in her house. I'm like, oh my gosh, man. She's got one on her porch. She's got one outside in her patio because it doesn't get cold here. And then of course she has a little mini one in her kitchen. I'm like, that's the coolest thing, man. I got a cool sister. Anyway, so I'm sorry I interrupted. What else you been up to this
Yeah,
week?
no worries. And I do want to mention I'm still really enjoying the show Pluribus, and
Mhm.
it's good. It's so funny because I'm watching Breaking Bad at the same time. And Breaking Bad in general, its storyline I like better.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, Pluribus has some really crazy things that the way the story goes that you'll never expect. I think
Yeah.
its reviews is like a little bit less than like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul and those shows,
Yeah.
but don't let me make you think it's not a good show. It's just getting a little slow paced for me at times.
I finished
I
it
don't know.
this
What do you
week.
think? Are you still
I,
enjoying it as much?
I finished it this week. The season, I was really disappointed. The season's already over, but I think it is. Pretty sure it is.
What are you talking about? The next episode comes out tomorrow.
Okay, then I'm fully caught up then. So I could have sworn. Oh, you know what it was? I know what it was. No, I had an article pop up on my Google. You guys heard of Google? Well, I've got Google. No, on my Google feed. And it said that Pluribus wasn't going to come until 2027, and it did get picked up for another season, but not till 2027. I'm like, damn, that's a long time to wait.
Well, okay, yeah. Now you're sidetracking to that point. I mean, that's kind of normal, unfortunately, for a lot of Apple TV shows. Severance is taking forever to come back to.
It's true.
Also, the soccer show took forever to come back.
Yes.
So yeah, that is
Yeah.
sad news if you like a show. But you haven't finished the season.
Okay. I thought I was
Anyways,
going
but
crazy. It's every
we're on
Friday.
the same caught up.
Every Friday.
Yeah, there's 6 episodes so far. Episode 7 comes out tomorrow. But do you have you has your opinion stayed the same, gone up, gone down?
Oh,
They better have a banger of a season finale because
yeah.
it's good, it's really good, but like it needs a little more excitement.
I'm glad
or
you told me
mystery.
it wasn't the season finale because for some reason I thought it was the last episode. And I was like, man, you got to be kidding me. It's like only got 6 episodes and it's already done. Can't be right. I think there's 6 out now.
Why did you think?
I don't know. I don't. Sometimes I dream stuff and I'll wake up and just think it's true. Anyway.
Of course.
No, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it so far. What about that last episode? What do you think about that last episode without spoiling too much? Thought that was kind of
It was
Kinda weird.
fine. It was
Okay.
fine. I mean,
in the freezers.
and by the way, next week isn't the finale either. There's going to be 9 episodes total. So
Okay, thank
I
you.
don't know what you're smoking.
Apparently, I got to get my greenhouse up to snuff because I'm not smoking enough of
Yeah,
it.
you do. I mean, gosh, like you don't partake of anything, yet you're more high than me all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No, that's great.
Yeah, but so you're
No,
liking
the last episode was interesting.
you're kind of lukewarm on Pluribus. I mean, nothing's going to beat Better Call Saul or
Look,
Breaking Bad, man. Those are
I know,
classics.
but yeah, my wife is enjoying it more than Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, and it's really good. It really
Right.
is. It's just I feel like they're almost going a little bit too much into character development, which doesn't make sense because there's not really a lot of characters, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
There isn't. It's very simple.
It's just basically her, and yeah, there's the
Yeah.
side people, but like
I want to smack those rich people.
it's
I want to
different
smack
than a
those
show
other
like
people.
Breaking Bad, where
Those other people just sticking their head in the
Yeah.
sand. I'm like, are you kidding me, man? Seriously? I mean, anyway, I don't want to spoil it because it's brand new. It's a brand new show. But so anything else? What else you been doing, man? What else you been watching or or playing? We'll get into our Destiny,
Yeah.
but
Nothing
anything
else
outside of that?
really worth mentioning right now. All the
Well,
other stuff I'll talk about tonight will be Destiny stuff.
sounds good. I
Yeah.
hit a pretty good
Turn over to you.
milestone. I don't talk about my bowling league much, but it just started about 4 months ago, and I have been struggling, man. I hold about a 205, 215 average, and they have what they call drop 10. It's where you can't, if you're having a bad, you have to establish the first 9 weeks. 9 weeks, sorry. First 12 games, which is 3 weeks, and 4 weeks. I know how to do math. Anyway, we bowl 3 games a night, right? And then head to head against the other team you're playing and all that good stuff. It's a very highly competitive league, but I have just been sucking. I get into brackets every week. I put $20 in those, and usually 20. I can put $20 in and turn it into 100 if I'm having a good night. And but long story short, I've been struggling. I think my average is around 195. They only can drop you 10 from your last year's average. So if you're having a bad year, too bad. You can only go down 10 points. But this last week, I actually had a pretty good game. My first game, I rolled a 211, which is right there with my average. That's kind of what I expect to throw. On the second game, I threw the first 10 strikes in a row. And I finished with a 268. I had a ringer 10 pin, 9, in my last frame of my 12th frame, in other words, of game 2. So I ended up with a 268. I had a 9 spare at the beginning, and then I went out from there. That's why the score is that way. Sorry, I'm getting down in the weeds here, but my third game, I threw 11 strikes in a row. And I've thrown my 12th strike of the game, which would be a perfect game. It'd be a 300 game. And I freaking choked, and I threw a 6. So I ended up not throwing. On my last game, I ended up throwing a 296. I mean, it's been a while since I've thrown a perfect game. I've come close so many times, and I have a younger guy who's the son of a good friend of mine who bowls with us as well. He's like in his mid-20s, and he's come close as well. And I always tell him, hey, man, you just got to get your reps in. Just get your reps in. Before you know it, you'll throw enough of these types of games. You'll be in these situations enough times that you won't be as nervous this time around. But being that I've been struggling so bad, I finally threw a nice game. Ended up with a 775 scratch. My goal this year is to get an 800 scratch, which means I have to throw 3 266 games or higher to reach that milestone. So came close, but no 800 this last week. But I've got a new confidence now, so I'm hoping that'll carry me into the next few weeks here into the new year. But I wanted to share that and kind of flex a little bit because I've been really struggling at bowling lately. Anyway, I've not played a whole lot of Destiny this week. I got to come out and be honest. I've just been slammed at work. Last week I took a couple days off work to get the campaign done because I wanted to talk about it on the show. And man, I'm paying for it this week because everybody's due. And it's Christmas time. Everybody wants their yard looking good. Everybody wants their houses treated. They don't want to see any roaches or any bugs during the holidays and stuff. So I have just been working till dark every night, and it's been pretty brutal. But the little bit I did play, I tell you the one thing I'll do log in, which Bungie still nails, is those Vanguard orders. I love doing Vanguard orders because they auto renew when you complete them. It'll show you the next Vanguard order in your game. And you're like, okay, I need to get stasis kills. So let's switch over to a stasis rifle. Let's get that done now. And while you're playing like solo Portal or whatever else I'm playing, I can on the fly just knock it out, And the key is, I don't know if you guys knew this. This is under probably some of our tips we're going to talk about tonight. There's a little bar at the bottom. As you get more and more of the orders done, you get a better and better chance of a legendary order dropping, which means you get really high tier gear, usually tier 5, and you get really good rewards, usually enhancement cores or enhancement prisms or golf balls or whatever. And you can actually re-roll them too. If you don't, that's one thing I like. If you don't like the bounty, I'm going to call it a bounty. you can re-roll it and the amount goes up every time the more you re-roll it until you get one that you can easily get done while you're playing what you like to play. So I re-rolled it, and I had a chance to get one of the seasonal fragile mods, which, if you know from last season, the fragile mods can be game breaking. So that's what I've been working on this week. The little bit of time I've had to play is trying to get those legendary Vanguard orders and trying to get where I get another fragile mod. I only have one fragile mod so far, but they say it's a chance. And of course I did 2 of them last week and didn't get any fragile mods. So that's what I've been working on as far as that. Now I must say, and people are not going to like what I'm going to have to say next, I tried Lawless Frontier this week because I didn't have a chance to play it last week because I was doing the campaign. I forgot the whole campaign done. I was pretty much ready to just take a break. I played the Lawless Frontier solo on Grandmaster, which is the only level I can play because I'm 512 light or something.
You can always pick an easier mode if you want.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Grandmaster because it only goes as far as Grandmaster, right? It doesn't go to Ultimate like the Portal. I don't think it does. I play Ultimate mode on the Portal.
But yeah, that's the one that'll auto select for you, but you can pick an easier one.
Yeah,
if you want.
I could have gotten 517 gear and it gave me an A+ score. Yeah, just GM. Yeah, okay. So I jumped in there. I had my Arc Buddy build, my Arc Buddies. I haven't even tried the manacles yet, the manacle build. I'm going to put that together next week and maybe I'll talk about it then. But I've heard the manacle builds are really good too. But I'm still using the Arc Buddies, and I'm just mowing through stuff, man. Even at high level, I'm mowing through stuff pretty good, and I'm using my Bastion as well, where I'm getting when I heal, I'm getting the mortar launches of the solar as well. I got through the 3rd wave. I was just about to the next part where I was ready to extract from the map, and I had like so many revives left, and I just got squashed. So I was like, man, I don't think they're scaling when you do a private match on Lawless Frontier. I don't think they scale it to a single player because it was a lot of enemies, man. It just became to a point where
you shouldn't be doing it single player.
Well, I know. Well, that brings me to my next point. I said, you know what? Before I talked on the show tonight, last night after I did show notes, I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and jump into a match made. I hate match made stuff. So I'm going to jump into a match made Lawless Frontier and just see what all this is about. So I jumped in last night. We did Tharsis, where we had to smuggle. We had to move the crates in the Vex area. Was Tharsis Reformation was controlled. Yeah, they do get harder with each wave as well. That's right, Tajo. And that last wave was just so brutal. So many coming at me. I just couldn't keep them away. It was not that I couldn't kill them. It's just the sheer number of enemies. They just bowled me over after a while, and then you end up just getting booted. And you get up like a partial completion or whatever it's called. So I played last night. I got matched up with 2 players. We launched in right off the bat. The 3rd player's AFK. He's sitting in the back, not moving. So myself and another Titan that was using the Stronghold build, he was using his prismatic blade and just blocking shit like crazy, like forever. And he was doing a good job. He's holding his own. We were trying to move the crates, all that stuff, while enemies are just swarming us. And the 3rd player just disappears. I don't know if he got booted for not working or being active or. So basically just me and this other guy. And I died 2 times, but they give you like 9. I think they give you 9 revives. Well, I died on my second death. The other player had used up all the revives because they're shared between the team. So I'm sitting there watching him in third person, and he's just sitting there just blocking like crazy. I mean, he's a trooper. He was doing the best he could. I'm sitting there watching him in third person because I can't get back in the game because I'm out of revives. I get booted for inactivity. So I get nothing for all of that freaking. I must have played for like 15 minutes. All of that work, I got booted. And I'm like, you know what? I think that's all I'm going to play tonight of Lawless Frontier. So I have not had a good taste in my mouth with Lawless Frontier so far. And I know you're playing it.
One example is not fair in the most remote universe.
I understand. But you know, if anybody's listened to me in this show knows that I hate match-made activities because you don't know who you're gonna get.
Then why do you like Destiny? There's so many match made activities in it.
Because Destiny has a lot of solo stuff too, or where I can bring friends in and we can all play. I like that part of it. But I tried matchmaking. I said, you know what? Kingsley's always ragging me for not doing matchmaking. I'm going to do matchmaking. I jump in there right off the bat. It's not a good sign. The guy's AFK. He gets booted for an activity probably. And then the other guy, we try our best, but it's just so many enemies. I love that part of it. I love that there's just enemies swarming you in the Lawless Frontier. I'm just trying to get these damn contracts done so I can start ranking up my Piker gang rep. And anyway, not a good taste in my mouth for the first one.
Well, now that we're talking about Lawless Frontier, I guess we're talking about it. I have things to talk about it too.
Yeah.
But first of all, why do you think they make match-made activities in the game? Because they're generally fun. You can have an activity where
they're never
more
fun.
things are going on, and you can't normally get it done with one person unless you want to super try hard. So you can make more expansive activities that are more fun with having more people in it.
I love
not going to change.
I love goofing
ever.
off with my friends from the community. I love playing with people in the community, and I know I don't do it as much as I used to anymore because I've got so many irons in the fire right now. But when we do raid nights, I look forward to raid nights because we're all just BSing or having a good time. But when it's match made to people you don't know, there's no comms, there's no mics, there's nothing, there's no way to communicate anything. It's just frustrating, man. I just don't know how long it's going to last where people just start burning out from people doing just what that happened. And I know that's one game. That's one case. That's not fair to judge.
Oh, well, how long it's going to last? It's lasted 10 years. Destiny's had match-made activities. It's worked.
I'm just curious how long that activity is going to last as far as repeatability. And if people are just finally just going to either do it solo or bring their friends in.
At that point, I was saying that the week before Renegades came out, I remember what I said. I said, everything about Renegades is going to hinge on Lawless Frontier activity as far as how long. Because the campaign can be great, but it's one and done for most people. And then so if the Lawless Frontier, and I know we have the dungeon too, so not everything, but that's kind of separate from the DLC. You know what I mean? It's included.
And I'm looking forward to the dungeon this weekend. I'm looking forward to playing.
Yeah. But the things you mentioned, I have had some issues with Lawless Frontiers also, and some concerns. And it's not concerns that are about matchmaking being bad in general, but more specific concerns about this activity.
Okay.
So I'd mentioned in the Discord, and everyone's like, oh, what's the problem? We don't see any problem. But what you said was kind of like what I ran into for several runs too. And I'd say it's at most 30 to 40% of the time. So to be fair, again, I'm very fair. It's not like it's a majority of the time, but it's higher than I would normally see in matchmaking. Where the problem is not the matchmaking. The problem is like people are testing out new builds and overusing the Praxic Blade, even when they're not familiar with it yet, and dying. And I was getting pissed because people were not playing safe. And I was getting like 3 or 4 runs in a row, but still I did way more runs. So it was still the other runs I've been okay. And people know that we're in the Discord. I made a comment about it, but I was getting like 3 or 4 runs in a row where I wasn't dying. I mean, maybe I would die once at the beginning if it was an invasion version. But after that, I wasn't dying at all. But everyone else on the team is just playing sloppy, overusing the blade.
Or don't know what the objective is.
They're dying because they're like going into a group.
Yeah.
It's not so much that I noticed. It was more they were just playing sloppy and dying and overusing the blade, going into big groups of enemies that they think they're invincible on. Maybe they're not Strongholds Titan or something, and then dying. And then we get to the end of it, and there's no tokens left. I'm like, come on, guys. And then they die again.
That's the problem.
And I'm not dying this whole time.
I know.
And at some point, when I'm left as the only guardian, and I don't want to try hard for like an hour and I couldn't anyways. Like I just got murked. I wasn't able to do stuff too. Now you do get rewards even if you don't exfil. You just don't get as many rewards, and they will go to your postmaster. It won't look like you get.
I got booted for inactivity because I couldn't spawn in. It was actually stuck on a message saying looking for area to spawn. I'm like,
I had
well,
that happen once too, but I still got the rewards. I'm pretty sure in my
I'll
postmaster.
check
So
my postmaster, but I don't think I got anything. I think I went straight to orbit. Like, get the hell out of here. You're out. So I'm like, what the hell, man? If that's the way it's going to be, then it does not want to get me excited about trying it again. Especially when time is such
the other issue. There's two other issues, and things are a little bit better right now because we're only in second week, but still, if you look at the numbers, Destiny population is still really, really bad. So
yeah, that's true.
One downside about matchmaking in general is if population is down, then you're not going to have as much of a chance of other good players you're playing with. But tonight, and I know this has got to be just another coincidence, but right before the podcast, I hopped in 2 Lawless Frontiers, and both of them in the first encounter, there was just another error where the objective said, like, one of them was get the solar things and you had to deposit them in that circle with the arrow that's pointing up. Well, enemies just stopped spawning. And the 3 of us are like looking at each other, like there was nothing we could do. We tried going another zone. We tried dying.
I hate getting soft locked.
So it was just a bug or whatever. And then I loaded into another one. And then same thing. It was a different mechanic, but enemies just stopped spawning.
What the heck?
What is going on? Yeah. So I think I chalk that up more to bugs than anything else. But you know, when we're used to Destiny having bugs, when we're used to like the population being lower, and if people are playing sloppy, I'm just not sure how long term this. Like I say, with everything, when you do the stuff, people do it as quickly as possible because there could be a chance if you're just slacking on stuff and then you're trying to do Lawless Frontier activities a few months from now where you might have a way worse experience where, you know, you might not match make well or no one wants to play it anymore or whatever. I know we're sounding both kind of down on it, but this is just my experience and just something to keep in mind. It'll be interesting to see. We may have a totally different opinion next week. We're like, oh yeah, it's better.
True.
I mean, yeah, if you actually fairly go into 10 different matchmade activities, I want to see your average experience.
Yeah. You know, I think
you don't even like to do that.
You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to have a midweek stream before the show and maybe just see if there's 2 other people who just want to run for a few hours. Just run back-to-back ones with me. Okay,
but that still doesn't give you a matchmake experience. That gives you a team experience.
I don't want a matchmaking experience.
Like, you can't say match made is bad until you actually run 10 to 15 of them and then see. And then
fine. You know what? That'll be my homework for next week. I will run 10. I will run at least 10. I'll give you a sample size of 10 and let's see how it turns out.
Yeah.
We'll see how it turns out because I died 2 times.
To be fair,
we get 9 revives.
And to be fair, I'm even saying that even though it's not as bad as you think it is, this with between being bugs or people being stupid or whatever, this activity has had more bad things happen in it that I've seen so far than other activities in the past.
Well,
that's not because the activity is necessarily bad. It's just other things are happening.
But Kingsley, it's the only way I can
think the
rank.
activity's fun enough.
It's the only way I can rank up my biker gang or to get currency really for Spider to unlock my stuff with Spider as well.
That's the point.
So when I go in there, match made, I'll give it 10 games before now and next week's show. I'll give it 10 games and we'll see how it goes. But
spread it out because if you're doing 10 games in the middle of the night where population's not good,
this is prime time.
Either,
I ran it. I want to say 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. Eastern, which still gets a lot of people on the West Coast. So yeah, I'll give it a try. I'll give it a fair shake. That way, then when I complain, I'll have better sample size. But okay, fair enough. I know we got a lot to talk about Destiny. I'm
concerned about this activity. I mean, we're only in week 2, so we'll see how it ends up being in the long run.
Well, that's why I wanted to mention it in the catch-up part because I didn't want to get too complainy when we get into the next part where we start talking about the new stuff and some tips and stuff coming, in Renegades that can help our listeners and our viewers here. But I did want to say I had one movie review this week. There was nothing really going on at the movie theater. So I was perusing around my streaming networks and I said, I've heard some good movies coming out. Let's see what there is. So I watched the new Netflix movie called Jay Kelly. I mean, it stars George Clooney as like an international movie star. His name's Jay Kelly. And it's the relationship with his longtime manager played by Adam Sandler, which I got to tell you, man, I think Sandler stole the show. I think that's his best acting I've ever seen. And this is more of a dramatic role. It wasn't a comedy. It was more of a, remember he played the diamond broker in Uncut Gems. I thought he did a good job in that as well. But the movie centers around Jay Kelly's having a mental breakdown after meeting a controversial friend from his past, played by Billy Crudup, which did a great job too. Adam Sandler's character is kind of caught in the middle of this breakdown and has to decide, do I stick with this guy or, it's robbing my time with my family. I have to go everywhere this guy goes, which is all over the place, traveling all the time. The movie also draws a comparison between the two characters and how alike their situation is, even though one of them is a famous and one of them isn't. It also dives deeper into the drawbacks of being a movie star. I mean, I got to be honest, I didn't expect much from this movie being a Netflix release, but I was really surprised. I really enjoyed this movie. You can always realize when you watch a good movie, when you're thinking about it the next day, you tend to forget the mediocre ones. You know what I mean? So I give this one 4 solid stars. Really good film. I recommend seeing this one on Netflix. It's a slow burning drama, but man, is it really well written. You'll begin to hear the name Noah Baumbach in the future a lot more because he's made really great movies. I don't know if you remember the movie Marriage Story that was on Netflix. That's playing on Netflix right now, by the way, if you haven't watched that yet. It's Adam Sandler and I think another famous actress. I can't remember her name right now, but man, that was a really good movie though. It was a really great movie about divorce and trying to keep a marriage together and stuff. It was really well done. So 4 stars, great movie. Definitely catch this one over the holidays if you're home and you're looking for a movie to stream on Netflix. Jay Kelly, I thought it was really good. I mean, it's not an action flick. It's not Matrix, but sometimes movies really can be really smart movies and make you kind of think. And that's what this movie did. And of course it was entertaining, of course. It wasn't a total bore fest drama, but I thought it was really good. So, well, if you don't have anything else, Kingsley, I want to get into our next part where we start talking about some tips and tricks for Renegades. Are you good? Everything good on your end? Okay. We'll do that right after this.
Yep.
All right. Good deal. What's up, Kabam Island? We got a couple Aussies in chat tonight. Nice. What time is it in Australia right now? I'm just curious. All Hell Odin, how you doing, man? Deadpool, how you doing, man? Kilvin, good to see you guys, man. Thanks for showing up tonight. I know the Game Awards are going on. 12:30 in the afternoon. So you're living in the future. Is it so bright you got to wear shades? Just curious. Anyway, bad reference. Sorry. It's an 80s reference. I don't know how old you are,
By the
K-Bam.
way, we don't have to talk about this on the show, but huge news. One of the trailers that was dropped in the Game Awards
Oh,
is Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic announced, the new Star
what?
Wars
They're
game.
coming out with an Old Republic
It's going to
game?
be single player.
Oh,
Well, it's called, yeah,
okay.
it's going to be a brand new single player RPG set in the Old Republic era,
Oh, man.
directed by Casey Hudson, former director of Mass Effect of BioWare.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good deal. All right. You ready? I'll pass it over to you here. 3, 2. All right, Kingsley. Before we get into the TWAB this week, we wanted to talk about some of the new things happening in this second week of Renegades. And since I have had not a lot of time to play this week, I figured maybe you had some stuff to share with everyone. So I'll pass it over to you, man. What's going on in Renegades for week 2, man?
Sure. Well, one thing's not technically Renegades. It's the actually, I'll talk about the Renegades thing first. And this isn't necessarily a week 2 thing. A lot of people got it in week 1, but I'm just mentioning it. I did get my yellow exotic order, so I could get the yellow blade for the
Ooh,
Praxic blade.
it looks good, I bet.
And it's a lot of people already know this, but it's the exotic orders are just a chance you can get, and especially you have a higher chance after the legend ones.
Yeah.
And but if you get the yellow sword one, because there's a couple different exotic ones you can get, but if you get the yellow sword one, then that's where people like happy because that gets you the yellow colored blade. Now what you have to do is you have to kill a bunch of stuff using the blade,
hmm
and you have to do it in a legend or higher pinnacle activity, pinnacle op.
Piece of cake.
So here's what you do. Guess what you do? I never thought I'd be doing this in the year 2025.
What?
You go into the Whisper mission and you go to the Thrallway probably the
Oh,
easiest,
that's right.
quickest way to
The
get
old
it done.
farming method. I
Hmm.
love it. Drop it down that crack.
Hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of
Awesome.
people already know this, and it's been talked about in the Discord, but I figured I'd bring it up for the people just listening on the
Nice.
podcast. Yeah, and you just kind of load into Legend. It's easy, and also it tells you, because you may be thinking too, like, well, what about ammo? Well, what they do is they give you unlimited. You don't even have to pick up the bricks. It just reloads itself with the green ammo
Nice.
while you're in a Pinnacle up when
Right.
you have that
That's
order
that's
active.
the that's the
So
new
yeah.
that's the new accelerator that's going on right now, right? With special weapons and ammo. Or is this something different?
No, it gives you it anyways. It says
Oh,
on the
okay.
exotic order that yeah, it'll
Nice.
give you ammo.
I like it.
Unless I read something wrong, but that's what the actual order said was
Hmm.
while you're in a legend or higher pinnacle op activity, it'll reload your ammo for free all the
Oh, I
time.
like it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now wait a minute. I got a question for you. If you're getting exotic Vanguard orders, that means you're doing bounties, man. Do you do bounties?
No, I'm doing orders.
No, you're doing bounties. Those are
And
bounties.
also I'm not doing anything. They're just completing by themselves. I don't care what's happening.
Okay.
It's
All
just
right.
happening in the
Hey
background.
guys, Kingsley's doing bounties. Kingsley can say yes to
No,
that
I'm
question
doing
now.
orders and
Okay.
they're happening in the background.
All right, fine. What
I
would
would never pick up a bounty because they're boring and I have to actually pick it up and then I have to turn it in afterwards. And I even said too, the order system is way better than the bounty system. So I'm glad they finally did something like this.
okay.
Orders and bounties are not the same. Orders are way better than bounties.
Okay. Tomato, tomato.
So when we ask in the future, do people do orders? Then that's something people
Everybody
would be
does
more proud
orders
of
because
than
you're
bounties.
the autocomplete. You're just doing it by playing.
Exactly. So it's not even a fair question. You do it even
Yeah.
if you don't want to.
Technically, you're still doing bounties.
But it is true though. I don't even know how many I've done. I might have just gotten good RNG also where I got an exotic one because
It
when I'm
is
looking at my
RNG.
thing right now, it's
Yeah.
not all legendary full.
It's RNG. They mentioned it's RNG, and
I know, but you're supposed to have a better chance if you do more of
yeah,
the legend
yeah.
ones leading up to
I
exotic.
guess it's
But
RNG. I guess
I
you don't
am
have to be doing a lot of them.
my bar is only halfway on legendary, and if I'm looking right now, I have one common and I have 4 legend ones that are sitting on
Wow.
my screen right now.
You got
Anyways, we're getting in the weeds.
Sorry. Damn. You got
Yeah.
four legends? Damn. I had 2 at one time. I complete a lot of them. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know. Maybe I just play better than you. I'm just kidding.
That's
I love
debatable.
it. I love it. So anyways, so yeah, it was good to get that done. I love the yellow blade. I know a lot of people like the red.
Ooh,
I'm
red's
not
nice.
saying this just because I don't want to invade. I like the yellow color better. Now I do also want to get like the dark black color or whatever's coming in the dungeon coming up. We heard on that, it's not a spoiler, but it just has an RNG chance of dropping from completing the dungeon,
Mhm.
which also good news is the dungeon's going to be farmable. You can run it
Oh,
more
that's
than you can
great.
just keep running it over and over on the same character, which is good. I don't know if the exotics can be farmable, but the drop for the dark blade color in the dungeon is going to be farmable. They at least confirmed that.
That's awesome. I
So
like
that's
that.
good news.
Hey,
But
wait a
yeah,
minute. Is
it
there
was
a
kind of cool to get the legend order.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Go ahead.
interrupt. Is there going to be an exotic for the dungeon?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
They talk about it a little bit in the twid.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yep. I think it's like a pulse or something. We can look at it when we get there.
Pulse rifle? Okay.
I think so. I
Oh,
could be wrong.
okay.
Anyways, but yeah, the legend again, this order system's good because you kind of can just do stuff and not worry about it. And then I did get the also the exotic orders drop tons of other stuff, tons and tons of rewards. So I was lucky getting the sword one pretty easily.
Yeah, you did.
And oh yeah, it's a crossbow. Yeah, I don't
And
know
wait a
why I
minute.
thought pulse.
While we're on the topic of prismatic blade, you could actually buy it next to Anur. There's like a room to the right of her where they actually had the exotic helmet you could buy for Mida Warlock, and you could also buy what was it, a mod for the Praxic blade? Was that right?
You could buy a core.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I thought.
So okay, we'll get on that topic now for a little because there is stuff to say there.
Okay.
What's this is good and bad also. So we found out, and hopefully it'll change because I feel bad for players like McMaximo that can't ever play on the weekend. But it seems like there's like a Zur type situation in the cantina,
Yeah, that's
and
what I
there's
thought.
the Techion lady that showed up
Right.
on Friday and only lasted through the weekend. So people like it's like
Nice.
a Zur thing. Anyways, yeah, you can buy stuff, and one of them is one of the cores that you can buy for the blade,
All right.
which
Sorry.
isn't the
Yeah.
colors like I'm talking about. That's something different.
This is
But
like a mod, not a color. It's a mod for the sword. Yeah.
yeah, but
Gotcha.
they're called like the power
Cores.
cores. Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. What else
yeah.
we got?
But back to the exotic order.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of cool how they did that, and hopefully everyone can get that pretty quick because I'm sure people will want to be getting the yellow color blade and whatnot. So just be sure to look in the order system, even if you don't go in there
Yeah.
too often. Now they do make it kind of easy to look because it's part of just when you click into the seasonal hub, which
Right.
you're going to be doing often if you want to look at the weekly objectives or the Vanguard alerts, which I'll be talking about afterwards, stuff like that.
Quick question
But
on
yeah,
that
kind of cool.
on that exotic order. How many do you think you had to kill with the blade? Maybe 500. That's usually what it
Oh
is.
yeah, good question. I think it seemed like it was between 200 to 4 to
That's not bad.
300.
Okay. So you got it pretty
Not
quick.
Yeah, I mean it took like 20 to 30 minutes. I don't know if it took that long,
That's not
but
that many kills. Yeah, that's
yeah.
nice. About 250 then. Okay.
It wasn't 100, I know that, and it
Okay.
wasn't 200 either. Yeah, but it was
Tazo says
like
it took him a good 15 minutes. Okay. All right.
okay, yeah,
Sorry.
definitely reading everything in the chat.
No, I'm
How
not
about you
reading
read that really
everything.
long one above?
I'm scanning
Yeah,
through it. I'm just
yeah,
if there's comments that are
yeah, yeah,
pertinent, I'll add to it. Yeah. Go ahead. What else we got
yeah.
this week?
And yeah, so cool about the sword thing. But I want to say kind of it was, yeah, between 2 or 300, something like that. So yeah, that's on that. And then what else was I going to talk about? Should we talk about, yeah, the other thing I noticed that actually this isn't technically renegades, this is part of the seasonal stuff that they would have added no matter what the DLC was. But for week 2 they added something called Vanguard alerts. Now this is really really weird, interesting, good, slightly awkward bad, but like I'll tell you all the things about it. First
Okay.
of all, where they shoehorned it into the portal is weird. We're starting to get, I kind of saw this happening. Everyone at first was like, oh, the portal's so good because it's simplistic looking, this and that. But the portal's starting to get a little cluttered, a little complicated. And we'll have these death by fire type thing over time where they keep adding more and more to it that it'll be back to where we were anyways
Right.
with the whole world director with a million different tabs and things. Anyways, to get to the Vanguard alerts, you have to go into the portal, ignore all the stuff down below, click into seasonal hub, then tab over to Vanguard alerts.
Okay.
And yeah, like if you want to go to Kepler, it's like 3 sub menus down. So like,
That's crazy.
yeah, anyways. But Vanguard alerts are so interesting because you have some of the hardest stuff in here to do and some of the easiest. And what's more is this easy stuff to do is like the most rewarding stuff in the game right now by far. First of all, you get the ARC rocket pulse rifle that everyone likes right now,
Yes, I got 2 of them.
the Saya Eterna, and you get a really good, basically god roll of it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, even for me, it was like dropping tier 5, and I was like 430 when I was running it. Maybe I just got lucky there, anyways. But
Okay.
and you get tons of other loot. You get enhancement prisms, you get golf balls, you get like 3 drops from the normal thing, and then also it has something called a challenge, where if you run 3 of the activities, you get even more drops. And you can do that up to 3 times. So if you run it 9 times, you get just tons and tons and tons of loot. And these things are quick. I did the 6 of the there's 2 different ones. You can do the quick play of the arenas or the
Mhm.
quick play of the fire team ones. To me, the arena is going to be way more interesting, and I hear they're quicker too because they're quick. They're the quicker 6 player things, and they're on the easy mode, which I don't know
Hmm.
how I feel about that, but I guess they had to do that for quick play. But if you're doing catch crash on easy mode with 6 people, you just slam through it real quick.
I'm
I'd
I'm under the
rather
assumption
do
this
that
is
than strikes, which take
yeah. Yeah, I'm under the assumption this is all match made.
what? Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Just making sure.
yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And the arena ones went super quick. So like people were noticing like, wow, these things are quick and easy and they're dropping more rewards than anything else. I feel like it's kind of like kicking the rest of the portal to the side. Unless you have a specific weapon or gear drop that you're looking for, like in solo ops or
Right.
pinnacle ops or something like that. I kind of feel like these Vanguard alerts area is way more fruitful for getting rewards and stuff. Uh,
Yeah, I think
you can
Tassie
even
was
do
saying it.
control. That has a set
Yeah.
of rewards too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So you
Tassie
can
was
do
saying
control,
it was like
arena
free loot.
alerts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Way better than anything I've seen so far anywhere else in the portal. Tons and tons and tons of rewards. Like,
Okay. I'm surprised you
yeah.
didn't. I'm
So
surprised you
they
didn't
had
run
an, they
run
had,
the strikes. Strikes would seem to be easier than the arena ops, but I guess the arena ops are faster, huh?
no. Oh my God. I just explained it.
I
Maybe you weren't
know.
listening, but
I
like
know. I heard you.
arena ops with, when you have 6 people, they go quicker. So
Okay.
remember, strikes have a lot of like time gates in them and boss
Yeah.
gates
There's only
and
3 people too. Yeah.
only 3 people. Compare that to a 6 player activity
Hmm.
where people are just slamming through it real quick.
Yeah.
Plus, I've done the strikes a million times. I'm bored of
True.
them. Catch Crash hasn't been around for a while, so it's kind of like newer to me still. I did do I did do the other two. They're not as fun. I mean, I remember how boring the Astro Alignment was. Oh my gosh. So like the ad amount on Catch Crash is fun. The amount of ads on Astro Alignment is freaking boring. You're like waiting for them to spawn. And then the Derelict Leviathan one, that one's okay.
Mhm.
I'd put it right in the middle. But as far as getting through them quick, if you just need to get through them quick, I definitely think arena ones are the way to go. So definitely check this out, people. There's reasons to do it, multiple reasons. It's one of the weekly things, basically one of the weekly
I'm gonna have to play that.
under seasonal hub weekly objective. If you complete uh, activity challenge, or you can do the Grandmaster if you want to do that. But
Right.
obviously, doing the regular Vanguard things are going to be super easy, and then you get one of those weekly things done. Um, I wish they would have had it a little bit harder mode because they do matchmaking if you pick arena ops in the regular part of the portal based on the level you're at. So they
Mhm.
have the matchmaking all the way through master, grandmaster, stuff like that. So why in the arena ops area do they just default everyone to normal mode? It's kind of a little more boring that way. And yet that gives you the most rewards, even sometimes better rewards
That
than
seems
if you
right.
were to
That seems
pick it
like a
on a
bug.
harder level.
Yeah, it seems like a bug. Hope they don't fix that.
I mean, or it could be one of these things that, but it also kind of seems like these Vanguard alerts, they shoehorn in kind of like last minute when people were
Mhm.
complaining about, leading up from last season to this one, like we need more rewards, we need more stuff, and this could be their way of like shoehorning something in last minute. Like we're gonna have tons of drops. We're gonna have like challenges you can do with it. We're gonna make things super easy. So like the people that are complaining about not getting enough rewards, here you have something super easy. You just do the arena ops or you do the strikes, and you're just gonna get rewarded like crazy
Okay.
for just doing seemingly easy activities.
All right,
You know.
Tajo. I hear you.
So also though in there, of course, like I mentioned, is the Grandmaster, the new Grandmaster things that are back for people. And those are also interesting too because, and we figured this would happen, but they are from what I'm hearing a bit more difficult. You need to be serious about it.
Minus 50.
Kind of Grandmasters were getting easy over time. This is like way back to like when they were hard again. You need to be
Mhm.
serious about it. You need to be on your toes. They're nothing you can just sneeze at. So you got that for the people that like the Grandmasters. They are back. So
Soccer.
interesting stuff in the Vanguard alerts area. What?
I said soccer.
What's that?
Soccer.
What
He's the
about
one.
soccer?
He's the one that likes the Grandmaster stuff.
Oh, lots of people do. I know
Yeah.
Tajo does.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, they're back for people that like that. So people check out the Vanguard alerts area. I just kind of wonder if like the regular portal area is going to be a little bit deprecated over time if everyone's caring more about Lawless Frontier, and Vanguard alerts could be the more popular things. But
Nice.
and those are the kind of things I've noticed this week. I don't know if there's really any other big news or tips on things. Of course, we have the dungeon coming up, but I think a lot of people are still, you know, slowly going through things, and I know a lot of people that haven't even still even really done much with just barely finishing the campaign
Mm-hmm.
or haven't finished it yet. So
Right.
it'll be interesting to see, other people's opinions on the Lawless Frontier activity more so when more people start running it down the road.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put a Nothing Manacles build together next week, and I'll talk about that next week because I heard Nothing Manacles is just crazy OP right now. So I'll since I am
Well,
a
the
beautiful
top
warlock.
Warlock Super is definitely Tickle Fingers. It
Hmm.
outpaces everything by far. And
Okay.
I have a build for that, so I'll talk about that one.
Yeah, sounds good.
Um,
I'll use the
the only
void.
problem with that, of course, is no, it's Arc. It's an Arc
No, no,
Tickle
no. I
Fingers.
said I'll use the void build. You go with the arc build. And
Oh, you'll use
we'll
Void. Oh,
compare.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Okay.
Well, there's nothing to compare. It's a proven fact.
Okay.
The Arc one outpaces every other super in the game,
Right.
pretty
Okay.
much. Yeah. Yeah, and the only problem with that one is you got to be up close. So
Yeah.
when we were in King's Fall the other night, which I forgot to mention, did do a raid last night.
Mhm.
Really, the only boss I used it on was Golgoroth because all the other bosses
Can't get
don't
close to him.
really suit for that very well because you got to be up and close.
That'd be a
But
nice
then
super.
the next best super by far is Needlestorm, the
Yeah,
Strand.
that's what I'm using.
Nova bombs are only hitting about 9K without buffs, but Strand is hitting about 14K
Yep.
without buffs.
And I get
Super,
Needlestorm
so.
back so quick with my build, so I can usually get two. Unlike a Hobgoblin, for instance, I can usually get two Needlestorms in one DPS phase.
Yeah, and if you like Needlestorm, my Tyodoxia is still a good one there because it buffs it even more, so it makes it the second highest Warlock
Yeah, but I don't want to give them my buddies.
super by far.
I'll bring my buddies with me.
Tyodoxia.
Get my buddies.
Well, if you need your buddies to stay alive, then you're not as good of a player as me.
Fine, whatever. Can always use.
Yeah, if we're just talking about, that's the thing about builds is you got if you're talking about what it's good for. To be fair, if it's just gameplay versus DPS, those can be different things and stuff. I always like builds that focus on DPS, but then they're also good with gameplay. I don't want a build that's just good in gameplay because I raid so much and stuff like that. Then of course my builds need to have good DPS also.
Yeah.
One last thing that I'm noticing, and this goes kind of along with the conversation of the blade. The thing about the blade is it's a thing that I feel like you need to be an how do I put this? You need to be an average or an upper average player or better to really take advantage of it. Kind of like how people already were with like swords and stuff like that. I'm that's what I'm kind of seeing like people just and maybe as people get more experience with it, they'll do better. Not just the Lawless Frontier thing, but everyone's so excited about it. And then, of course, in a raid the other night too, everyone wanted to bring it in and quickly learned that it's not necessarily the thing you want to run everywhere.
Yeah.
People were noticing that they just weren't taking down stuff as quick, and then they swapped to their normal loadouts. I'm not saying that people can't main the blade in like an easy tier raid, but the blade almost does better when you have more enemies around, if that makes sense.
Well,
because you get more of the blasting back on all the enemies. You get more of the protections and the buffs and the debuffs or whatever the hell's going on.
Right.
And you can swing. You can do your heavy attack if there's a bunch of enemies, and then kill them. But like you're doing King's Fall on normal mode. It's kind of like chirp chirp, and the blade isn't necessary. And then people will try to use it on some yellow bar, and he's taking forever to go down. Where you got to take down the knight real quick. I'm like, no, we don't want to use the blade for that. We want to use just a different loadout that we're used to for taking it down real quick.
Yeah,
So,
Kabam Island.
It'll be interesting to see how this blade goes in the long run.
Yeah, Kabam Island agrees with you. He said the Praxic blade seems more of a novelty weapon, and it's already lost a bit of luster. Fun to use, but not overly practical. Yeah, so he agrees with you there. Nice. Okay. Anything?
I'm halfway agreeing with that. I think it can be very practical depending on the content you're in and how
Yeah.
you use it. Again, what I was saying of what type of a player you are and
Mhm.
how much enemy density there is. So I'm kind of middle of the ground. So I know some people love it
Mhm.
and some people think it lost its luster. I'm more middle ground on it. But yeah, good comment on that.
I'm surprised Aztecross hasn't tested it yet. If he hasn't, I'm sure he's going to soon. Maybe he's getting ready for the dungeon right now, but I'm curious to see if, because
Tested what?
the DPS using a Praxic blade on a close enemy instead of our normal things that we use, because you can't really use it in this spray is so limited.
Uh,
It's hard to
well,
test it in Vault of Glass on the
you
Templar.
really think that's going to be like a high DPS weapon?
I
I
don't know.
don't think it's meant to be. I think it's more just like
If you have the skill to get that close, I would. You better give it lots of damage. But maybe it's just an ad killer. Maybe that's the only thing it's really good for. I enjoyed using it because I could block all the attacks, and I don't, even if I don't have strongholds as a warlock, I can block for like there's a cooldown on it, but I can block straight without letting off for probably. I tried it last night when I was doing I can't remember what I was doing, but I was blocking shots, and I think it lasted for, I want to say 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds, and then it stopped. It would just auto stop. And then
yeah.
not even 5 seconds later, I could get it right back again. So for another 15 to 20 seconds. So
But here's the thing too with the blocking. That goes back to my comment too. You got to
yeah,
use it in a way you don't want to just be blocking because
no,
then
you want to
it can
deflect.
be taking forever to take enemies down.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I was watching even an Aztecross stream where
Yep.
like people he was using it in was he using it in the GM? I don't know. And people are like, "This is taking forever. Stop maining the blade." You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
if you're just using the blade for everything, it's gonna go slower to take down enemies unless you get up and close, kind of like Tajo mentioned in the chat. You got to have a combination of blocking slash using it close combat. So you
Yep.
really have to learn how much you can stay alive, how much defensiveness it has
Yep.
versus how much offensively you want to be with it. But I don't know, man. There's still time, especially if an enemy's further away, where it's like you're
Mm,
probably better off using the new Sciaturna or something like that.
yeah. Then of course you can throw it
But
too.
the blade
So
is fun.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Uh, the Chucky Boy says the pulse rifle is pretty good from the GM. Yeah, I got the pulse rifle just playing the campaign. I can't remember where I got those actually. I'm pretty sure I got them from the campaign. I got 2 of them. I got some decent rolls on them too. But I like the new arc pulse rifle. It's pretty good. It's been pretty good.
well,
So
if he's talking about the one from the GM, that's Horror's Least.
Horror's Least. The okay, that's different. Yeah, I like the Horror's Least,
That's
but
not the one
I don't know if I'm
you're
ready. I
thinking.
don't know if I'm ready to endure a -50 activity right now. I'm already playing at -30, so it's 20 more, right? But I know it's going to be a lot more. It's going to be like a lot of
No, it's a big difference
a lot of
between
spun
30 and
a
50.
lot,
It is a big difference.
a
Yeah.
lot of a lot of spongy enemies, that's for sure. Okay. All right. Well, I tell you what, let us get to this week in Destiny. Be right back. Let's get through the TWAB and then we'll get to our topic and then we'll get to some questions. Yeah, I also Kabam Island did mention too the Behemoth Totality Vision is best versus invaders. Get the level up, pop it, and just chill. Haven't been killed yet since using it. The Behemoth. What is that exactly? Is that the
That's the fake ATST.
yeah. Okay. I've heard that's been pretty strong. The fact that Master Conquest Reclaim mission is bugged out sucks for those who want to level a Guardian. Still showing as content disabled when trying to launch. Hopefully the fix comes soon. Yeah, I'll save your question, Kabam, until the end of the show, because that is a good question. I'll save it to the end of the show when we get to questions. That way you get credit
Well,
for it.
I've been talking about that since like
Yeah,
3 weeks.
I know.
But yeah, I don't know if I have more to say
Well,
tonight.
we'll have our
maybe we do,
official
yeah.
we'll have our official comment on it. So, all
Mm.
right, let's pull up the TWAB real quick this week.
I think it's still too early to say.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's going to fizzle out in a couple of weeks. I'm
it's
not saying it's anything
yeah,
yet. But yeah.
it's definitely too early. But boy, the first time I tried it was not a good taste in my mouth. That's for sure. But I'll give it 10 games. I'll do 10 match-made games. That'll be my homework until next week, and I'll do it various times, and I'll give you my report next week on it. So, okay. All right, here we go. This should be quick. This is going to be I was looking through it. It's not really very, very deep. So, all right, 3, 2.
Mhm.
All right, this week in Destiny for December 11th, 2025. This week in Destiny, we're getting ready for our next dungeon race. Read on for all the info about Equilibrium's contest mode before it launches Saturday morning. We also have content creators fighting for their favorite syndicates and Renegade's Lawless Frontier. Hopefully next week's The Dawning event brings them together after their, quote, friendly exchanges of banter and bullets. A lot of repetitive content here. We've talked all about the Equilibrium dungeon. We've seen the trophies. The reward is, of course, I was just asking you, the exotic for the dungeon is the Dredgen's Descent. No, I'm sorry. It's the, wait a minute, is that the heirloom? Wait a minute. The heirloom exotic weapon? In addition to the dungeon's new loot, completing Equilibrium during contest mode offers special rewards. Defeat all encounters of the dungeon before the mode ends to claim the heirloom exotic weapon and Dredgen's Descent emblem. So it looks like Chewie's weapon. They don't give a name for it though. Does anybody know in chat what the name of it is?
The heirloom.
The heirloom exotic? Okay, maybe that's it. The heirloom.
That can mean two things.
Yeah.
It could be the name, or it could be heirloom has a different meaning too.
And it does have the catalyst. There's a catalyst emblem here too, so I guess you can get the catalyst as well from playing repetitive matches of it. Let's see. Contest mode will last for 48 hours following the start of the dungeon race. As with the previous races, to give our servers some room to breathe, there will be no bounty or weapon leveling progress for combatant kills below boss tier within the Equilibrium dungeon while contest mode is enabled. Normal difficulty will go live once a world's first completion has been confirmed by the team. We were talking about this, Kingsley. We were talking about, are we going to split up our raid team into 2 teams of 3 and give it a shot for day one? And I think our for most of our team was like, well, is contest mode still going to be on? Because I'd rather play it normal mode. And you're right. As soon as someone gets a completion, which should be probably by afternoon, I'm guessing, if not sooner, but we play Saturday night, so we should be able to jump in and hopefully play it on normal mode. Hopefully it's not that difficult. It's a dungeon, for God's sake. So.
Oh, it'll be difficult for you. Don't you worry.
Oh, I'm not worried. I'm in there just to discover. I'm not. I don't have high hopes for myself. No, even normal mode. I'm in there just to try to figure out, just like we did with Desert Perpetual. We just, every week we would just dabble a little bit and see, okay, let's figure out how this works. Let's figure out what the mechanics are here, and then start honing it. And we'll probably do the same thing with the dungeon, but we'll figure it out. Everything they've talked about already as far as the rules and all that stuff, we really don't need to discuss here, because by the time this goes live on Monday, it'll already have been passed. So, yeah, we'll just keep moving here. The Dawning event preview. It's almost that time of year again. Guardians, Abuelita Eva Levante is heating up the cookie oven, which means that the Dawning is close. The iteration of the Dawning starts on Tuesday, December 16th, and will run until January 6th. I love the Dawning. It's one of my favorite activities. Let's go over how the event works. Get a quick drink. Snowball fight is here. Have you ever thought to yourself, gee, I wish I could throw snowballs at all the other Guardians? Ask yourself no more. This year we have a new Crucible Ops activity, Dawning Snowball Fight, where you can live out your fantasy of the most overpowered snowball fight of all time. So it's a one-hit kill, I'm hoping. No weapons, no abilities, just soft powder after a snowball super to one-shot your cool-headed rivals. Okay, so it's a one-shot just only with your super. Okay. As in past years, snow will also be falling at several locations, allowing you to make and throw snowballs that slow, freeze, and shatter foes. The snowstorm modifier will be active in portal activities, generating snowballs upon defeating combatants. That was always a fun mechanic. Cooking cookies for your favorite Destiny denizens. Eva Levante will make her return with a cooking quest. Learn how to gather questionably edible ingredients, Vex milk, acquire Essence of Dawning. Oh yeah, I remember those. And use her cookie oven to bake tantalizing treats. Oh, there it focuses when I look up. There we go. That's why I have these lenses. For the stalwart heroes you know and love the tower and beyond. Sorry, I'm butchering this. Exchange baked goods across the solar system for special Dawning themed rewards. And these rewards are pretty cool. They have 2 new cookies, Dark Matter Drizzlers for Dean of the Aeonians. That's in Caldera and Kepler in Solo Ops. And another one called Peanut Butter Paw Prints for Archie on the tower. That's pretty cool. A lot of rewards to earn. As for rewards, the Dawning is entering the event home for the first time, much like we did with the Festival of the Lost and Solstice. There's a shader, ship emblem, ghost shell, and more awaiting you on the event rank track, as well as weapons, of course. And the ship, and these look really good. I like the ship. The ship looks really slick. Looks really like low profile. I like that. Playing Portal activities will drop Dawning Engrams containing exclusive weapons like Mistral Rift, the Adaptive Frame Void Linear Fusion Rifle. I have one from last year. It's Adaptive Burst. It's a 3 burst. Permafrost Wave Frame Stasis Grenade Launcher. That should be fun to use. And then finally the Thimble Winter Stitch Precision Frame Arc Sidearm. I'm in. You had me at sidearm. You'll get 1 guaranteed holoful of each with random perks from the event rank track, and you can add one. You can find more by earning Dawning Engrams from Portal activities or trading in Dawning Spirit with Eva in the tower for the Dawning Engram. Okay, one thing I want to mention here, a new chapter for the new player guide. I thought this, when I read this at first, I was like, oh, they're redoing the new player experience. No. For some time now,
the guide.
Yeah, exactly. For some time now, we wanted to refresh our new player guide to be more comprehensive. Always available resource for players who have just recently started playing Destiny 2. The first chapter of Refresh Guide, Getting Started with Destiny 2, is now available as part of the Bungie Help. And we'll be adding many more chapters covering gameplay basics and beyond over the next weeks.
So why are they even mentioning it here? New players wouldn't even know about the TWID, really. I guess we're supposed to tell the new players, hey, get excited. The website's going to be updated.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends who haven't played Destiny yet.
This is nice and all, but this does not matter. No one cares. We were talking about, funny enough, I'm the type of a geeky player that would occasionally look at guides for other games on a website.
I would.
Even I used to say, that's nothing. You need in-game stuff is way more valuable than the website that you go to.
And it's just a website. So, oh well. It is what it is.
I'm not saying they shouldn't do it, and there's lots of good information there, but it's kind of like you play the game, and then it's like when you're done, it's like do your homework and read the new player guide, on a website. So,
well, I could read it at work, I guess. Whether if they're thinking about playing Destiny, I guess it's there at least, right? I mean, you can't knock them for that, I guess. Anyway, I didn't read much, did I there? Additionally, our goal is to update it with every major release, so it's always up to date. Let us know what you think. Share it with your new light TC. Share it with your friends, and help us make it the best possible guide for them. Equilibrium Dungeon Bungeon rewards. The Equilibrium Dungeon launches on Saturday the 13th, and with it, new Bungie rewards to unlock. Complete the Equilibrium by 9:59 on April 30th. Wow, they're giving you a big window here to unlock the Equilibrium Dungeon hoodie and pin. Hoodie looks pretty good, actually. Man, I don't like those pockets. Man, it's okay. Sometimes you like pockets on your hoodie, then yeah. It's nice, though. I like the shade of green it is. Anyway, you'll get the Praxic title pin as well. All purchases, including Bungie rewards made on Bungie Store during Renegades, come with a secret weapon emblem with every purchase. And their emblems in the store are fantastic. I mean, buy a t-shirt and you get the emblem. You don't have to do much. I actually bought some stuff from their clearance and got the Halloween emblem, the one with all the skulls kind of animated. Anyway, it was really good. Hunt down the system's most wanted. If you want to know more about the big bad characters and Renegades and the Lawless Frontier, look no further. We partnered with 5 artists to create a suite of wanted posters featuring the most notorious characters in Renegades. Dredge and Bale, Premier Lume, that's the big guy, Enforcer Rao, Boss Relix, and Zephyrus Autonomous Mind. Those are the enemies, and they look really good, man. I wonder if these are they're just posters, right? Yeah, there's a blog post you can clip if you want to learn more about it. The history and motivations of the outlaws and stuff, kind of backstory. I really like this. This would be good if I had the room, but I really don't have any room. $7 million reward. That's really good. Okay, here's what we were talking about. Join creators in Oath of Renegades. So maybe we'll get down and find out what this is all about. If you're having fun in the lawless frontier, join us for an all-out game creator-led activation where you can pledge your allegiance to or betray chosen content creators who serve as syndicate leaders. Choose between the espionage-focused Totality Division, the anarchist Pikers, or the gambling Tharsis Reformation. In Oath of Renegades, a selection of content creators from around the world have become, quote, lieutenants for one of the three syndicates. If you'd like to support them or be part of their team, please sign up for the Oath of Renegades website. There's a link here. Link your Bungie.net account and pledge your allegiance to your chosen creator so you can help them and send their syndicate earn points. The lieutenants will have prizes to give out if their syndicate comes out on top at the end of each event day. Prizes include Year of Prophecy collector's editions, exclusive unreleased Renegades themed displays, Renegade game codes, back to basic emblems, and more. So pledge wisely. Of course, you can also choose
I
to
don't.
go ahead.
Oh,
No.
what I don't like about that too is only the winners get to have the
Yeah.
rewards. So it's like then of course that makes it so everyone wants to just join Team Scarrow, whoever's in top place.
But it's
It's too
daily.
bad they couldn't have rewards to give to everyone, you know.
It's probably like Guardian Games, probably a daily reward. You know, you get points for every win every day. And
Okay, but do you understand my point?
yeah,
Like
I know.
people, when you're if you want a reward, you're
Yeah.
gonna look at because you could go to the website and
Find
see
out who's
who's
ahead.
top ranking. So
Yeah.
why would if someone wants the rewards, why would they join a smaller team like supporting Danfinity, which I did by the way.
Yeah.
But like Danfinity is not gonna win, you know, compared to some of these bigger ones. And if you want the rewards, you got to go with one of the bigger teams. So
Yeah. I'll join Danfinity. I like that dude. Danfinity's a cool dude, man. I like that guy. We're both still are making Destiny content, right? I listen to his podcast too. He's got a really good podcast. Destiny Digest is the name of his podcast, and I listen to it when I get a chance. Good Destiny podcast, by the way. If you're looking for another podcast to listen to, the lieutenants will be streaming for 2 hours on these dates between these times. So stay tuned to their individual social platforms for their specific stream times and more information. You got December 11th, 9 to 9. Wow. Okay, 24 hours. December 15th, 9.
now, yeah, no one cares about all these things, right?
Yeah, December 18th. Basically 24-hour streams. Is that for each of them? Or maybe that's the window that's open to do this, I guess. Okay. Here's a list full.
There is a reward. There's an emblem that everyone can get at the end of the event, no matter what.
Right.
But other than that, the daily rewards are just for the winner, and then that streamer hands those things out. So
I
that's
see.
what it says here. It could be wrong, but
I
yeah.
see. Yeah, there's a list of all of the streamers and what division they're a part of. So you can look on that if you want to see who you want to join. And I'm looking for Danfinity. Which one is he? He looks like he's on Tharsis, maybe? Yeah, Tharsis Reformation.
That's also
the
why
Vex.
I teamed up with him.
Yeah, because you're already a member anyway. Yeah. You're already on the Tharsis Reformation, unless you've changed already. Anyway. Player support report. Shit's pretty much broken. Is there anything we need to mention here, Kingsley, that stands out other than stuff we've been encountering?
Well, some things to mention, I do actually think about the Fire and Ice mission. This is more stuff that's coming up. They are going to be making the mission easier in a way, but also they could make it harder, which if you're, and of course, by the time you hear this, you're not going to have much time if you're not listening live. But
Right.
right now, there's a cheese where you don't have to do the timer if you want to get the catalysts on legend mode. Now, I'm not saying they're going to for sure fix that by Tuesday, but they might. But also on Tuesday, they're making other things easier. They're making it's mostly stuff in the boss encounter where the boss encounter is very annoying, especially doing the catalyst on legend because you have to keep swapping the nut like so many times, and the platform goes away pretty quickly. So what they're changing is the platforms are not going to go away, and you can do pretty much an instant or 1 second interact. Where right now it's about like one of those 3 second interact things. So that'll be good. They'll be making that stuff a bit
Nice.
easier. But still, people, I always recommend when if you want to get something done, the sooner the better, because if they do fix the cheese of the timer, then that will be harder that way.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So
What happened to Destiny saying they weren't gonna worry about fixing game breaking stuff? This isn't game breaking. Leave the damn timer off. You don't need to have timers on stuff anyway. It's such a
they never
artificial.
said
It's
they
such
were
an
going to do that.
artificial difficulty. I swear to God, I hate timers. Anyway, all right. Well, we'll look into that. I guess maybe me and you should get all our catalysts. Have you got all yours done yet? All your catalyst?
Oh yeah.
What?
Like I
I got to get my shit together.
I mean what I say. I'm not
Okay.
just saying people to do that and then I don't do it. I have all
Yeah.
my catalysts already.
Yeah.
Because it's usually easier sooner rather than later for multiple reasons, because there may be a cheese, there may be more people willing to do it in the community. Like, not that I'm saying people won't be willing down the road, but right now more people are interested than weeks from now, you know what I mean? So I always think it's better doing things sooner rather than later.
All right. Heirloom is the name of the exotic, Tajo's saying, and it's Abuelita. Yes. I thought I doubled it up and said it again.
No.
Okay.
No, you did not say abuelita
It's Spanish
at
for
all.
grandmother. I know. I understand.
Yep. Hmm.
Yeah.
Abuelita is kind of how you say it.
Abuelita. Okay.
I know a lot of people say abuelita, but I'm used to in California saying abuelita.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely need to do this without the timer so I can get it all done. So I may be enlisting your help. Maybe I'll bribe you with something that you can help me get it done. We'll figure it out.
Oh, I'll help you out.
All right.
I've offered to,
Okay.
but also there is the other problem though right now is there is a bug that you have to, if you don't do it kind of like right away, you have to join someone else who hasn't done it yet. Um,
Oh, I see.
but
Okay.
if you haven't done it, I can
No,
join you because
I
I
haven't
don't
done
care.
it.
I already
I've
have it
only run it
done.
the first one, and the reason I don't have the exotic because I never ran it on Legend. Remember, it was defaulting to normal
Oh, but you
difficulty.
might not be able to run with me. That's the point. Yeah. Mm.
Well,
Well,
we'll
we could
figure it
have
out.
three.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Uh, I did want to mention this though. Before we go, we did run a HUDless Garden of Salvation raid
Hmm.
last week with our raid group, and you had some notes you wanted to mention about it. I mean, I had a great
Yeah.
time. I just my overall, 30,000 foot view down. I really enjoyed HUDless. I thought it would be much more difficult than I
Uh
thought.
huh.
I was really not looking forward to doing a HUDless garden, but the first three encounters we aced it pretty quick because we've all played it so many times. But we did get hung up on that last one, and I guess it was because we were trying to double up on the damage on the tethers at the end, and I guess we just couldn't get it done. But it's something was
Yeah.
bugging
Yeah.
out or
Don't even get
something.
me started on
I
that.
know, but what?
Yeah. But
Yeah, what'd you have to say about it?
yeah, I'm glad you like. Okay. I mean, yes, it is harder, but also if you're used to the raid mechanics already, I think people realize like, oh yeah, once you get past the not knowing how much ammo you have and DPS numbers and things like that,
Yeah,
really people who run the raids a few times kind of have like an internal memory of how long certain things are happening
yeah,
anyways. So with either sound cues or just mental timers in your brain or just other people calling out details, it's still very easy to get the encounters done as long as you don't have to be like really reading things on the screen. Otherwise, you're just then going in more blind and you just have to pick and choose. I had fun too. I hadn't done Guardian HUDless yet. I've done DSC a few times. I think I did one other. I think I did Garden once. That was
right.
kind of boring in my opinion. But yeah, I had a lot of fun too. And I do want to say, like the the first kind of couple encounters, it's really what you have to rely on is, I think, a better understanding of what's happening anyways. I think sometimes when people are like picking up moats, for example,
Hmm.
in the raid, and this is good to have a count, it's not like it
Yeah.
shouldn't be there normally, but they may just blindly pick them up and not know what's happening, but then
Hmm.
look and see like, okay, I have five, so I'm good. But the thing about it is, um if you're not actually looking at the ground and paying attention to what you're doing, that's where you could miss a moat just normally playing, and you start running off, and then you look at your little text on the screen. It says, "Oh, I only have 4, so then I got to run back and get another one." Well, see, what I was telling everyone is like this helps you actually learn things better because you use your other senses. You don't just blindly pick them up when they drop on the ground. You want to see that you're picking up
Counting them.
5.
Yeah, definitely makes you pay
And
attention.
these are things that I do anyways, because I'm a very observant, I'm a
Hmm.
very visual person.
Yeah.
But I think it helps other people kind of just really like look at details more and say, like, oh, yeah, I actually need to pick up 5 motes literally with my eyes versus just relying on. And honestly, it's pretty easy because they usually just drop all there together, anyways. But
Yeah.
still, sometimes they can be spread a little bit. And then, yeah, the last encounter, the main thing that makes that a little difficult too, it's not we weren't having problems just because of the tether thing. I mean, yes, that was a big thing, but we got past that. But also, it's hard to know when Vex sacrifice.
Right.
You don't
You have to
really,
listen for
you
it.
do get a sound when they're up close, but that's their sound of them, kind of like, I call it like the teleporter sound. It's like they're gonna start like beaming off into space when they kind of sacrifice into the conflux. But the problem is like you can get that sound and it doesn't mean that they've sacrificed yet if you kill them really fast.
Right.
So really the only way to know normally is the text. So that is one thing we just have to go more on blind faith when we were playing. And I know that there was times where we had sacrifices where we didn't know because there was no text, or vice versa. We thought we had a sacrifice and maybe we killed it real quick before it went all the way, and maybe we were assuming there was a sacrifice when really there wasn't. So
Yeah.
that was probably the hardest part in the last encounter,
I
but I
got
had a lot of fun.
I got to admit, being HUDless, I didn't have all this information in front of me. I was actually able to focus better because there was no information
Yeah,
around
right.
me drowning out my visual field. I was able to just know my job, know what I got to do. But I just wanted to mention that it was much easier than I thought it would be. And maybe I'll do some more raids down the road HUDless. Try it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'll give it a shot.
I'm always down.
I know Zombie's been wanting to do a DSC HUDless, and I mean, we got the dungeon this weekend, but maybe one weekend we'll jump in there and get it done. So, yep. Anything else you wanted to add about that? I had a good time. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad I'd lost the bet fair and square, so it was only fair for me to honor that. So, okay. Well, we have our topic of the week, and I can't wait to talk about this because this is I've been thinking about this all week. So we'll jump into that right after this. Definitely want to get into this topic. I'm gonna use my screen share on this, and
Look. Did Discord update? It doesn't move when I mute. Look,
no, it doesn't.
see, it's not moving my.
Thank
Oh my
goodness.
gosh,
Well,
that is
no,
amazing.
it might be because your avatar's on. Your camera might not be on. That might be why.
Oh, it only moves when the camera's on?
I think it's when the camera's on. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but anyway. Okay. Now you can lean on me on this one. I've kind of got a workup of what I want to say here, and then we'll get into a conversation at the end about all this. But yeah, I wanted to get into this here. I'll just let you guys know in chat that I'm going to be reading some lore that could be spoilery if you haven't played the campaign yet. So just letting you know, if you haven't played the campaign yet, you might want to skip this part. Anyway, fair warning. Okay. All right. Here we go. 3, 2. Well, Kingsley, for my topic of the week, I've been kind of thinking about this, and when I finished the campaign, there weren't a lot of lore books, but there were some new lore books that dropped from completing the campaign and completing certain activities in the campaign. And once I read these lore books, these entries, I was thinking to myself, what the heck? Why are we having to refer to the lore for this information? So I wanted to share that information tonight and see if you guys agree with me here. I want to start with what made Dredge and Bale hate the light and its guardians so much, because this guy came out of nowhere. We're like, this Dredge and Bale dude, what's this guy all about? What the heck is going on here? So there was an entry called What Mother. It's entry 2, and I'm just going to read it here. So let me get a nice drink of water here. These lore entries aren't really huge, so it won't take too long to read. Yeah. So, but I'm telling you, these lore entries are really telling. So, all right, here we go. This entry is called, What Mother? I've known Mother to be dead for longer than I knew her alive. I remember small moments, falling asleep on her shoulder as she carried me home night after a holiday party, teaching me to swim, singing as she washed the dishes. I remember feeling safe with her. Even when Father shouted, her voice would silence him, protecting me. Memories that comforted me until I saw her. The market at Bonet Plaza in the West District. I was getting lunch outside the Mechanica home office. Kaido's logisticians, Father's lickspittles, hiccups at factories 3 and 4. A miserable day, to say the least. I had interred her. She was ash. But in this moment, I saw my mother moving through the crowd with her ghost flitting around her head. She had been dead for 3 years at this point. Somehow, the light had found her. It seems all it needed was ash. 2 others chosen by the light marched at her side, bristling with weapons leashed to their puppeteers. The chosen on some holy business to save humanity. She glowed, flushed with heat, as if the fire that cremated her now animated her from within. I cried out in horror, unable to stop myself. It made me sense. I mean, it just made sense, of course. The traveler would grant my beloved mother the gift every child in the last city dreams of, every dying elder longs for as they move away from the main of life, eternal life without fear. But when I embraced her, crying her name at the center of a cheering crowd, what did my mother do? She shoved me away. I felt the searing push of her soul energy and her strength, a sizzling reminder of my chest as I stumbled back and fell. Not a twinkle of recognition in her eyes, just discomfort. You know, the one gives, a clamoring beggar that gets too close. Cold. She was cold. She was hideous, a doppelganger, homunculus. Her chirping idiot of a ghost commanded me to clear the way, and off they went. Bystanders helped me get to my feet. Strangers, kinder than my own mother. Is this the truth of light? Is this what it does? Animate the dead and possess them with ghost puppeteers who keep them hooked to life like a fish on a lure? To prey on desperation and transfix the city in this poisoned dream? What miracle makes a mother spit on her child? My memories of her now curses, leaden dead weight, every single one a searing ember. Man, that is a very haunting lore piece for me. But it makes perfect sense why Baal hated Guardians so much. And why was this not in the campaign? This is an awesome backstory. I don't understand why.
This is normal for Destiny. They always have lots of lore that's not in the campaign.
But this was
from day one,
Kingsley.
unfortunately.
This was a perfect setup before we even met Baal.
Yeah.
To see this cutscene in the, I understand cutscenes are expensive to make. I understand that. But man, this is such a strong piece of lore. This is a big piece of information that if we knew, we would understand why Baal was so freaking animated toward us. But that was probably the most uncomfortable lore to read. But what do you think? Any thoughts on this?
Well, I was trying to pay attention, man, but do you have a TLDR? Like, I got a little lost. It was a little long for me.
Yeah. Baal had buried her mom. Her mom died.
Okay.
And 3 years later, as he's sitting for lunch, because he works for Tex Mechanica, one of the factories, he sees his mother running through the plaza that he was sitting eating lunch on. And he couldn't help himself. He cried out, "Mom, mother, mother." And he ran up to her, and she didn't even recognize him, because you get wiped, when you're brought back to life by a ghost. And the ghost was telling him to get out of the way. And here he's saying, here it is. I have strangers that are helping me to my feet that are more nice to me than my own mother. So he's like, it's like a curse that his mother's running around, being, brought to life from ashes. She was cremated.
Yeah. I do like that a lot. You know why? And it's because of a more of a meta big picture
Yeah.
answer. It goes along with everything. Like even in the Destiny verse, we've
Yeah.
had hints all along that don't just assume that light's the good side and don't just assume that dark's the bad side. There can be reasons why dark, typically in games and movies and stuff, they make the dark side be like the
Right.
bad side or whatever. But
Right.
it depends on how you look at it a little bit. But also, even in a bigger sense, like there's times in the world where like religions way, way a long time ago in the name of goodness would brutally murder millions of not millions necessarily, but thousands of
Yeah.
people and stuff like that. But that was the good side, you know what I mean, quote
Mm-hmm.
unquote. So like that's why you really just got you take it with a grain of salt when people
Right.
say what's the good side, what's the bad side. And you know, harming others, that's usually a clear sign of bad side. Not always, but usually.
Yeah.
But it also makes me understand also, and totally agree with what you're saying,
Yeah.
that of course he's going to not think that the light is good if someone close to him was totally changed and he didn't like that change and then other people were helping him.
Yeah.
um Although I think it's easy to still say, though, his decisions were bad when he was then forcing that view on others
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
killing other light guardians. That's where it was more
Yeah.
clear. But I understand
Yeah.
the impotence, the how it started. It
Yeah.
wasn't necessarily a bad thing that he was against the light side.
I mean, every new enemy that we encounter should have some kind of backstory scene that we can understand where they came from, And here's the thing, they're relying us to turn to the Lord to find this about Baal. But there's some speculation out there. I couldn't find any hard figures, but a lot of experts out there speculate that only 20% of the Destiny 2 players actually look at the lore in the first place. So if
Even that much?
yeah, I thought that was high. I thought it'd be like 10%, because that's about 10 to 12% of players even play a raid, let alone look at the lore. So I'm guessing that number is even lower probably. But my God, this is what's wrong with Destiny, man. Can you imagine if you had that backstory in this campaign? It would bring it up several notches. And I think it would be to the point that maybe even people would say, hey, listen, you got to know about this guy, Baal. You probably need to come back and play the campaign. It's really worth it. But the fact that they omitted this from the campaign, man, it's just like, that's such a key piece of information. I mean, that's like,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's like, I mean, that's like Darth Vader's history. They made movies about his history before they came to the end scene where, he's cutting down, other people that Luke cares for. But, well,
I agree, because even though I was saying that Destiny has always done this, I did say in my review last week that I didn't think the narrative for the campaign was that good.
You're right.
And I don't know if we want to talk about that more now.
You're
or
right.
Later,
You're right. The narrative. I mean, that would have definitely been nice to it.
It was too quick.
Yes,
it was too quick. The actual story was good enough, but I mean, like how they presented it was not good. Not that the narrative team had bad ideas. I meant it wasn't fleshed out. It was too quick how everything happened and too confusing.
Right.
Not really. I mean, basically what's happening, but not exciting enough to really care.
Yeah.
Like I don't care really anything about Baal or him or the characters. It's like whatever. It's like they're both gone. I don't care. I don't care if I killed them or they're gone.
Yeah.
But
it simplifies the story so badly. It just simplifies the story where it really takes a lot from the story. It's like seeing a movie and not knowing, if you watch any kind of movie, there's usually a cutscene where they go back in time where they talk about how that person got to that point. Hell, movies even start with that sometimes and then fast forward into the future. But I could see where there'd be a part in the campaign where we would go to Spider and Spider would go, oh, Baal, let me tell you about Baal. And then boom, jump into the cutscene about the incidents with his mother, where his mother doesn't even know who he is, and is after burying her and cremating her, and she's in an urn or whatever. He sees him. I mean, how dislodging would that be? Upsetting would that be to a child that sees one of their parents that they've got
dramatically.
closure
Yeah.
on running around, with weapons in their hand, going to save humanity? That's just such a big piece of key information. But I wanted to read one more thing here. This is entry 1. This kind of gives a little more background about Baal. This is called the Engine of History, and I'll read quickly here. This is a short entry. There is a level of suffering that I'm quite used to, and then there is working with Keitel's bureaucracy. Moving this battle rifle platform through Keitel's latest round of trials has dampened my spirits. Competition against the other foundries typically lifts my spirits, but not this time. I find myself wishing something terrible would happen to me. Maybe I would be struck by a meteor, so no longer must suffer through the signatures they ask of me in duplicate, triplicate, etc., etc. The Cabal marched into empire not just because of their legions, but also thanks to their armies of quartermasters, how do you say that word? Logisticians?
Logisticians, I think.
Logisticians. Thank you. Now that's the right way to say it. Logisticians, factory masters, armors, and so on. Their soldiers brought the stars to heal. Yes, but only because of the greater force that kept them fed, fueled, and stocked with ordnance. One would think the soldiers of the Cabal to be arrogant, but in this twilight age of that state, I found that the haughtiest and most entitled of the Cabal are the bureaucrats. They stand in the way of progress, clutching their columns, tables, and limits like a border guard and his rifle. When I want to give soldiers what they ask for, some quartermaster lumbers over to tell me I must not, for it must be too expensive. Small minds who don't dream, but think in terms of cost, capital, and limits. Discard your limits, factory masters and accountants. Follow your heart. Father, when I can get him to emerge from his tinkerer's shed, only mutters about how we must cling to Tex Mechanica's, quote, brand of old world class and style. Father's a sentimental dope, and I'm thinking of having to wait for his nod of approval. In the old world, people killed each other with less. They threw rocks. They fought with sticks. It's time for us to make something new. Until Tex Mechanica will push the firm into the future, despite him, I will follow the voices of soldiers and those who dare. That is how one keeps reverence for what came before, by responding to the will of the masses who compose of the very institutions these moribund leaders claim to represent. Father eventually will understand he must. Until then, I find camaraderie in the field. Bracchus Lume, my liaison, and the commander of the test unit that fields my weapon, understands and agrees. We have spent long hours together discussing many things. He serves as my muse to me, a rogue in uniform. He respects Keitel, as a soldier must submit to their commander, but through his words, I can pick out the shape of his true intentions. He paints inspiring images of Cabal before Callus, when they, as Lumi so poetically put it, made an empire in tribute to the sun. Brave Bracchus Lume, he has dreams like me, dreams of liberation, of rousing history and leading it forward. Torabottle, their empire. I am moved by his vision. How similar it is to my own. What weapon should we need to build to realize the aspiration of dreamers like Lume? That is what I ask of my designers and engineers. Imagine a weapon to be carried into the breach and beyond. A tool as mighty as the ones who wield it. Make Lume a weapon that he is proud to carry, and let me be the vessel through which it is delivered. Of course, there is a marketing of this thought, but I don't think of my ask as something that base. We make weapons, not sugary drinks. We give power a body, milling it from inert metal into implement that shakes the columns of reality itself. The barks of our beasts make kings and tyrants just as mortal as the lowest of us. I want, quote, Tex Mechanica stamped on the side of the Liberator's gun. I want us to be able to be the engine of history, so we begin with Lume. I will continue to tilt at these bureaucratic windmills, but I think now at least I'll do it with a steadfast squire as company. Together we'll score victory over that class of manicured, desk-bound elites. They must think that they control the world with a stroke of a pen, a perfected spreadsheet, or the tweak of an allowance. But we'll show them that people with dreams should be the ones to make decisions. People united, individuals of supreme motivation who wrest the tiller of history away from those who would prefer to crouch on their piles of glimmer instead. It's time for dreamers to lead in the direction of their choosing. Now, what this talks about, I think this leads into the super weapon. I believe this is what leads into this weapon that he comes up with for Lume, which is the commander of the Cabal that I guess disappears. I guess it's still debatable whether we killed him or whether he disappeared in the campaign or not. But it appears that his father was kind of a company man and didn't want to deviate from the directives of the Tex Mechanica Foundry, but he wanted more. He was a very ambitious young man, you know, and he wanted to lead Tex Mechanica into the future, but he feels the fat cats just sit behind their desk or just holding back the company. So, any thoughts on that?
So, by the way, in the game, they pronounce it Loom. They don't pronounce it Lume.
Oh, Loom.
If you care.
Loom. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, and the reason why I didn't correct you earlier is I wanted to list. I was listening to a little voice sample while you were saying it, but at least that's how they pronounced it.
Loom.
But,
okay, gotcha.
What's also interesting is we met him a long time ago in game. He was on the Blue Coalition side, you know, like one of the side Cabal people.
Right.
You know, everything you mentioned here, I also love, of course, because again, it talks about like two different sides or two different ideologies,
right?
And how some people feel like it's kind of like a risk versus reward mentality. There's sometimes people that act too risky. They're like, oh, we can just do it. Like we can forcibly do something even if we don't have the resources and get it done. And sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. So then that's the side of like, if they do get it done, they're like, haha, we should have done it all along. If they can't get it done, then the people said, yeah, we didn't have the resources, said, haha, you shouldn't have done that all along. So I love that too. Again, it's playing two sides against each other on his ideas of how like he just feels like, in his opinion, he wants to do things a different way, just more off the cuff, more just kind of like going for it without having like procedures in place or whatever. I'm not saying one way is better or not, but it's very, very interesting of how they put that in there. You're right with the lore, and there's a Destiny video that Yves made that talks about it. We met him years ago and shows a picture of Loom when he was Brockus Loom before Premier Loom, and he was again one of the blue friendly Cabal on our side.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I don't know, man. I don't think Tex Mechanica is the foundry you want to try to push into futuristic guns. He needs to go to maybe Suros or, you know, there's other foundries that have more futuristic guns, but Tex Mechanica has always been old world weapons. You know, you look at these weapons and they're like, man, they're like from the Wild West, you know, these are like older versions of weapons, but with today's technology built into them. So I don't understand why he was pushing so hard for the Tex Mechanica to be the one that, I guess it's just who he ends up working for. But I mean, if he would have pitched this to Suros or Haka, maybe he had a better luck, but, that was his frustration, you know. That was that young Bail that was very, very bombastic and very aggressive. He wanted change, and this kind of alludes to why he was never a Guardian, because this is just a common human person. Yeah, his family worked for Tex Mechanica, exactly, Notorious. Yeah, it's why he talks about his dad. His dad's just in this little piddling shed where he just widgets on stuff all day, you know? He's like probably an advisor, but it sounds like Tex Mechanica is a pretty sleepy company where you have all their long, old, you know, owners of the company that just sit around and, you know, it's like Porsche. They make the same car every year, same model. I mean, they don't change anything. They know what works and they just make a new one of them. Yeah, and they may add features into it, but it's an old world family, you know. Ferrari. I mean, all these Italian car makers, you know, they know what they make is good, and why should they try to make anything different? So, Ferrari's probably bad, but Porsche, I mean, same damn car every year, man. The 911's the same car every year. That's why I'll never buy one. Anyway, so we're asking ourselves here, why is Bail manipulated by Six? And there again, this lore piece I'm going to read next, this is the last piece. It's shorter than the last one. Talks about how he reaches out to Six and he reaches out to Six as Six he's trying to make Six his traveler, and he's trying to get powers through Six. So this entry is entry 9. It's called Direct Me. It's not working. None of it's working. I can't get him to listen. Loom's scions are too stuck in their dreams and their delusionary concept of the individual, the self, themselves, arrogant, selfish. There's a greater movement at work, and they're too myopic to understand the beauty of being a pair of it, of being a part of it. They are improper tools for the work I intend to put them to. It seems that I will not be able to dismantle the vanguard with them. I need you to help me, Six. I need you to speak to me, to speak through me so that they can see. I would cut off their eyelids to force them to see, but if you only guided my hand, speak. I need you to speak. Let me be your conduit. Is this what guardians feel like when the traveler is so still? Do they feel a similar agony when the light animates them? I've never seen a guardian in pain. Could it be that light protects them from that pain? Or does it withhold the greater power and deny them a fuller strength? There is an old word for guardians who turned from the path of light. I have seen it in my text on darkness, quote, dredgen, a word given to the exiled by the preening arrogance that expelled them. I think I should use this word. I should give it a new meaning. I can't stop trembling, but only the parts of me that have not yet been changed. Only anticipation and animal's apprehension at the transformational moment of pain. Those that have been made in the shape of his vision are all better at channeling its power. The agony shaped me from meat to beauty, gave me meaning beyond a decaying body. This is the thing Loom's scions are afraid of, the pain. Only pain. That's so small. A rat fears pain, a frog, creatures, beast. These scions claim to be the mightiest beings in soul, but they wither when they share a moment of my agonies with them. Pathetic. They refuse to accept that pain is a pathway into meaning, not merely the spasmodic firing of anguished nerves. Of course, transcendence would be excruciating. What did they expect? To mediate themselves into absolute power? To relax into freedom? Please, Six, direct my hands, direct my feet, direct my search to those who would be more willing to become my dredgens. Find me those who can endure the agonies necessary to become open to your power. I'm your vessel, but the more I channel your strength without you, the more my own wanes. So this is from the book Centering, all these entries I mentioned tonight. You can find them on the Ishtar Collective, but just keep in mind these are brand new entries, and they warn you to not spoil this and not share it too much with the rest of the site for people who may not be looking into that yet. But this, he's reaching out to 6 of the 9. He's frustrating with how everything's going radio silent. He's a frustrated young man who's definitely not a guardian. So as it's played out in the campaign, we realize he has no ghost and gain powers. I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there was an unlocked lab or something, and he gets stasis powers from this. He wanders in as just a common person into an area he wasn't supposed to be. And I think that's how he gets these powers to fight against Anur at the beginning, where there's a big fight at the beginning.
Stasis is not from the light.
It's
or
the darkness.
Like other people could figure out stasis too. Yeah.
Right. So anyway, I just want to share those lore entries tonight. Maybe we'll hear more about him. Maybe he's in the Day 1 dungeon. I don't know. There's 2 lore entries that are missing still after I finish the campaign. So I'm guessing that they're going to come from the dungeon this weekend. So anyway, I wanted to share those to you. Any final thoughts there, Kingsley? I mean, it shares a little bit why 6 is manipulating him now, because he's crying out. He wants to be manipulated. He wants 6 of the 9 to be his traveler. Though he hates guardians, he still ultimately wants to become one like a guardian, you know, but he can't because he's not chosen by the light. Anyway.
I just thought it was funny. This whole time Zavala is just in the background, like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Renegades are going to be renegades and do their own thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just kind of
Exactly.
sitting back, like,
Exactly.
he's like, I don't know what's going on.
Anyway, I appreciate you guys indulging me on that. I read those 3 entries this weekend, this last weekend after I finished the campaign. I'm like, why was this not in the campaign? There's three pieces of lore I just shared with you tonight that totally explains everything about Baal, almost everything. So I just want to mention it tonight
Well,
because
yeah.
I just don't
Even
understand.
with those explanations, which are great, I don't know if I care still dealing with him in the
Yeah.
future, although we probably will at some point. Bungie's
Yeah.
pretty much just told us, so even if it's not the dungeon,
Yeah.
it'll be
May see him
sometime in the
later.
future.
Maybe Shadow and Order.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Anyway,
Or we're down further. Yeah.
I think this could have made for a great campaign if we would have known this information without having to look it up in the lore pages. So, and let me tell you, these lore entries, if you didn't get them unlocked in the game, they were kind of hard to find. I had to do a lot of searching to find them, but there you go. Yeah, Zavala learned stasis after losing his ghost. Ah, that's right. That's right, because Zavala technically is not a guardian anymore. Yeah. All right. Good to know. All right. Well, thank you for indulging me on that. We've got a few questions to answer. We'll do that when we return. All right. Let me pull up these questions real quick. Well, we can ask Kabam Islands, I guess, first, or maybe close with that, maybe. But let me go to questions real quick.
Haven't we already kind of answered? Okay, yeah, we can answer that one.
Well,
again.
you know what? We'll end on that note. Okay, let me get to podcast questions here. Okay. Show 4. Okay. I see here. Okay, we got some good questions. All right. Here we go.
I'll just ask the questions. I'll do my part to answer whatever you ask.
Sounds good. Sounds good. They're not too difficult. 3, 2. All right, boys and girls, this is the last segment of our show. This is where we get our questions from you guys. And we have a few here in our Discord questions, and I wanted to start with those. Mr. Dead Rabbit starts off, are you siding with the Vex, Cabal, or Fallen? I mean, I guess I'm with the Fallen, at least for now, but I think I heard that you can switch if you don't do the main contract with your house that you're with, that you can switch. I heard you can get rep for all 3.
I don't know why you got confused, and we answered this in the Discord today. You can switch whenever you want, except for if you're doing the priority contract, then you have to wait for the next day, but it's not weekly.
So wait a minute. So you can switch sides like daily? I thought it was weekly.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Think that.
I think they mentioned it. Well, they were very vague about it, weren't they? They said, yeah, there is downsides if you decide to switch.
The weekly thing is the rewards you get, but that's based on how many contract things, priority contracts and contracts you do with one particular one.
Right.
So you may not want to switch for a week until you get all that done, or if you get it done in a few days, then you can switch. And I think you may only get, I don't know if you can get more than one weekly drop from different factions. That I don't know. But the only thing I saw was if you do I think it's the priority contract or whatever, you can't switch until the next daily reset.
Okay, good to know. That's another tip, because I didn't know that. I thought you had to wait to every reset to decide where you're going to switch. You know, that's the way it was in Destiny 1. If you went with Dead Orbit, you were Dead Orbit for the week.
Yeah.
And what would suck is you would become
totally different.
You would become Dead Orbit and then see that Future Roll Cold had a really badass gun and you couldn't get it because you couldn't change. And by the time you switched over next week, the guns rotate. You might not have the gun next week. So that was always a pain in the ass, but that was pretty cool. Dead Rabbit, Mr. Dead Rabbit follows up. He says, if we had a dungeon vendor, we don't. Who should it be? A dungeon vendor. Yeah. That would be pretty.
We don't have a raid vendor either. I'm trying to think what would be the purpose, and then maybe I can think of a character to go with it.
What if we had a dungeon vendor that had all the dungeons, and he would give you even maybe some orders, not bounties, orders, for things to do in that certain
Well,
dungeon. That'd be
the
pretty
orders
cool.
can be done in dungeons and raids already, anyways, because they're all
That's
real
true.
basic.
Well, they're bounties, yeah. Yeah, they're actual bounties you get from the clan from Hawthorne. Who is
Dungeon vendor?
Well, I mean, it should be Crow, right? Because Crow's not doing anything right now. I would just from
It could be all sorts of people. It could be someone
Could be.
new we don't even know.
That's true. That's true.
I'm trying to think if there's anything tying the dungeons together that would correlate with one person that I can assign that to.
That would be really
I'm probably
cool.
overthinking it, but
That'd be really cool though, to have a dungeon vendor where you could go and choose and go through him or her to go to any dungeon that we've had in the past in Destiny 2. That would be pretty cool. But
Well-
can we do that on the map right now?
you can go to the dungeons still, but yeah, not in just one place.
Yeah.
You
So-
gotta like the old ones. You have to like actually, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So maybe that wouldn't be needed. I mean, maybe to offer special dungeon weapons and stuff. That's more work for Bungie, but I don't know. I would just say Crow by default because he's got nothing else to do right now. He was done
Because there's a fair amount of dungeons, so if we had it on one vendor, the screen could get kind of messy too. If we're talking
Maybe.
all the weapons and all the armor.
Cool.
Sure, I'll go with Crow. Also, I don't know what to think on that one.
Okay. The doctor has a question. He says, "What's your favorite lightsaber color so far?" I mean, I love the purple one because
Yellow,
Mace Windu is the only one who had that one. The only purple lightsaber. in
yellow,
Star
but I
Wars.
might go for the dark one that looks kind of black. That's from the dungeon. I want to.
Is that from the dungeon? I was going to
to
ask. That was my next question. Is where do you think we get the black blade? Because that is going to be pretty
Oh
cool.
yeah, I said earlier on the show it's in the dungeon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
But I'm not sure if that'll change my mind for sure. But right now I'm saying yellow.
Okay. Finally, Barrow Barley has a question. With playing Destiny all these years, have you ever been playing solo and run across someone on your friends list? It's happened to me once. I saw a friend in the tower, but before I could say hi, he went to orbit. I've had this happen to me. Has this happened to you, Kingsley? In the tower
Yeah,
or
tons
wherever?
of times. I wouldn't say like if I had to guess, maybe no more than 20 or 30 times.
20 or
just through
30?
playing Destiny,
Wow.
but yeah, I mean, first of all, my friends list is 30 pages long,
Yeah, it's true. It's long.
and also it's not that weird, especially if some people are in the same region as you.
Uh-huh.
It could even be more than 30 times. I think if you as you play more and get more friends listed, you'll see it happen more often. I'm not saying like it's happening every day or week or month even, but it has happened tons of times for me. Just even the other day, last week, I was at the outpost, the Tharsis outpost, and saw Red Solo Cup in the instance.
Oh,
So,
yeah, nice. It's
Yeah.
happened to me probably a handful of times. The very first time it happened to me, I was just joining Dad's Tales. Remember those guys? And one of our members, a longtime member, probably one of our original OG members of our Discord community, Drafty, he was playing a hunter. And I was at I think I was at Hawthorne, checking in, getting my bounties or whatever for the day. And somebody kept smacking me. And I was in my menu, so I didn't see who it was. Someone kept smacking me. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Finally, I turn around and go, I'm like, what? And then I look at the name, and it's Drafty. And he's trying to give me a high five. He's doing the high five emote, That was the very first time it happened. But I've had several people in our community. I've been running like a match-made activity, which is very rare these days. But I'll be running like a strike or in Crucible. It happens a lot in Crucible. I'll be playing Crucible and I'll be playing sometimes on the same team and sometimes on the opposite team. And people will message me and say, "Hey, what's up?" it's so-and-so. And it's happened to me. That's happened to me probably 3 or 4 times playing Crucible alone. So yeah, it's happened to me before too. And you guys know how I reunited with Warcry, right? I was playing an alt character called Old Guy Killed You. And it was one of my alt accounts, one I just play in Crucible, just goofing off, trying new things. It's an inconsequential account. And I shot and killed this guy, and it said Warcry 1969. I'm like, wait a minute, that name sounds familiar. I wonder if that's Warcry. And sure enough, I messaged him, and he goes, Todd, this you, Todd? No, it's more like, Todd, that you. I can't go as low as he can. Never mind. But sorry, Jeff, I can't talk like you, man. I don't have that North.
What was that?
I don't have that North Kakalaki accent either. I'm Southern, but I'm not Southern. But anyway,
Wait, let me try.
All right.
It's Warcraw here.
That's not bad. That's pretty close.
Not bad.
Spoiler alert, guys. Every year we do a Christmas episode with Warcry and Jealous. It's kind of a, we used to do the Christmas songs where Jealous would write a song and Warcry would recite it, like a night before Christmas or something. But, we kind of ran out of ideas there. And so what I do is, I just have a show on with them and just catch up with them because I only see them every so often. And, it won't be live. I'm just telling you right now, this won't be live. This will be something I'm going to release Christmas week. So if you guys think we're taking a break Christmas week, no, I'm staying on my streak of having a show every week, even through the holidays. So, Kingsley may or may not be joining me. It just depends what his schedule, if it works out or not. But, I'll be doing a double show next week. One will be live. That's Thursday. With Kingsley, and my other one will be Monday night, just in a private chat. We'll be recording that.
Yeah, it's not like we're actually recording Christmas week.
No,
Yeah.
but we're recording it for our Christmas episode.
Ahead of time, yeah.
Yeah, for our Christmas episode. So, just a little housekeeping there to let you guys know what's going on since we're talking about Jeff. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. I don't have anything else on the agenda tonight. Anybody have any questions? Kingsley, anything else you want to mention here before we go?
Let's see. Looking through the chat here, and I think we're pretty good.
No, we got the question from Kabam Island to finish up with. He said, how long will Lawless Frontier last for the gamer before fatigue and boredom sets in? And you said you kind of answered it, but I figured we kind of close on that. How long do you think it'll take?
Well, my answer already was, I don't know, but I am concerned that, it could be one of those things again. Here's the thing. I do feel like even with the small issues we've had and stuff like that so far, this activity is obviously a lot better than any particular activity we may or may not have had with Edge of Fate. But I am still not sure it's really going to have super long-term excitement.
Right.
Because why would it? Because again, no matter what they add in the game, Destiny is Destiny. There's only so much they can change it, and the abilities are fun. But I don't know. I think there's a greater chance this time that it'll last a little bit longer, but at the same time, especially with like the dungeon coming out, like all the hardcore players, and then
Right.
we got, and I know you can probably do the Christmas stuff in Lawless Frontier also, but I don't know, man. It's I mean, I'm already kind of getting, I wouldn't say bored by any means, but I'm already kind of getting to the point where I'm not like looking forward to running, and I've probably run 10 to 15 at most Lawless Frontiers, maybe not even that much,
Okay.
maybe like 8 to 10.
Less than I thought.
So it's kind of like, which by the way, you don't need to run 10. That'll be a lot. Maybe like at least like 5 to 8.
Okay.
I'll give
it a
for
good
you.
test.
10 would be a lot.
Yeah. I'll give it a good test just to get and I'll do one maybe during the day on Saturday or something where it's more players on and see if it makes any difference or not. But, yeah, let's go by that.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting, to see on this. I just don't think we really care is the answer. Like, it's not like if people like it, they're still running it. If people don't like it, they're not running it. It's population's already low, so it doesn't really matter as long as people are playing something and it's not continuing to go even lower all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is what it is. It's kind of one of those things like
it's always like this with expansions, except for like the main ones I can think of back in the day were like Forsaken and Taken King.
Right.
Those expansions, for whatever reason, lasted months of excitement versus weeks.
Right.
And this is again going to be one of these ones that'll probably be like, I feel like with Edge of Fate, for most people, unless you were really slow getting stuff done, it was kind of like anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks before the excitement wore off. With this, I could see it going a little bit longer, especially
Yeah.
because you kind of have the I keep saying the Christmas activity. What's it called?
The dawning.
The
That's going to
dawning,
take
kind of breaking it up.
that will
kind of as a
because
distraction.
that's running for 3 weeks.
Yeah, but come like second week of January, I could see like
Yeah.
maybe a little less excitement with
Mhm.
running Lawless Frontier over and over again.
And we got Shadow and Order in March. So yeah, we got a long way to go. Yeah. Yeah, and we're kind of thinking on the same wavelength here. I mean, you kind of spelled it out pretty perfectly. I think I agree. I think Dawning and the dungeon, people are going to want to start getting their dungeon runs in. I think that is going to distract them for a while. And maybe people jump in, when they're not doing their dungeon runs at night with their friends or something, would run the Lawless Frontier. But I'm just curious to see if they try to do a balance pass on some of these modifiers for the Lawless Frontier, because we talked about last week how you can get the revitalizing bot, the shank that just gives you like really good shields and gives you super like instantly once you rank it up, and people are just using that every time. I think they get a couple of them per run, right?
Well, but then also the Behemoth did actually get buffed on the second week, and that's why that one's really hot now.
Yeah.
So they will probably do some minor bounces actually from time to time.
Yeah.
Are you thinking or hoping like they're going to be like doing it all the time? That would keep it interesting. That would be pretty cool, I guess.
I don't know.
I doubt it.
Have you done invasions yet? Have you done any invasions?
Hell no.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that either. It just doesn't have much gravitas to it. It's like, okay, I'll run in, I die 3 times and just go get my loot. It reminds me of current Gambit. Everybody knows the 3 areas that the invader's coming from, and they immediately have a super or a machine gun out ready to just pounce on them. And even if they have more health, and they are distracted by enemies, I think there's still a major disadvantage to invading, but I don't know. We'll see how that evens out. I figure they're going to tweak it a little bit, but I'm sure it's not going to be after. They'll probably tweak it maybe before. No, it'll be before the year. It'll be, if anything, the earliest would be before New Year's, but I have a feeling they're not going to touch any of that because they're going to go radio silence here in a couple of weeks. So I think we got one more TWAB next week, and then they'll be going radio silent for the holidays. I mean, we got next week, and then it's Christmas week, and Christmas falls on a Thursday
one more
this year.
TWID next week, and then
it's
break.
I kind of like how it's falling on a Thursday because that can still get some work done in the front end of the week, and then take the week, have a really long weekend, Christmas weekend off, and then get to work on Monday. Then you got New Year's coming up. So man, we got.
I take the whole week off in between. I am not working Monday or Tuesday.
It depends. It depends how much work I get done this week. So yeah.
Plus my anniversary is the 29th. So
very nice. Congratulations, man. Yeah. What, how many years? 10? Oh, it's the 10 one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I love it, man.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a good thing, man. That'll be fun. Well, that's it, guys. That's it for me tonight. I hope you guys have fun in Renegades, and I guess, thank you for coming out tonight. And we got one more show next week, and then, like I said, we have one coming out Christmas week. It'll be probably the Monday, after Christmas. But we're not gonna have a live show Thursday, obviously, because it's Christmas Day. We'll be taking that week off, but we're gonna pre-record a show for you guys. That maybe it sucks you got to work Christmas week, and we'll have a show out after Christmas for you guys. And I'll put a video version out this time too. I'll post it on YouTube and on the podcast apps the very same day. So you guys can watch the video version if you want. I saved it for our Patreons last year, but I've got something else in mind for our Patreons this year before the year ends. So I did want to remind you guys, I don't know if you guys have heard, I've got a new podcast, 50 Years Experience Required. I have a brand new episode coming out in the next day or so. I've already done all the writing on it. If you guys remember, I had someone who faked an accident, targeted my work truck, and actually brought a suit against me for damages to his car and I guess his health. That case has been closed. My insurance company has settled with them, and I got words. And I'm going to talk about the whole process and why the auto insurance industry is broken. So I'll share that with you on the next 50 Years Experience episode, which should be out probably, I believe it's going to be out this weekend for those who are alive. For those of you who listen on Monday, it'll be already out. So just want to let you guys know that's going to be out. And then I'll have one more 50 Years Experience episode before the year end, and also have another Patreon episode coming before the year end for our Patreon community out there. So just want to give you guys a little heads up on that. So I'll see you guys in the Discord, and as in life and in your game, get your reps in. Later, Guardian.
Have a good one. I already got all my reps in.
I figured I'd change it up tonight.
Yeah,
I like that term. Everybody knows I'm always talking about get your reps in. So, thanks Discord. Thanks for hanging out tonight.
More to you than me.
I was trying a little something different tonight. So anyway.
I love it though.
You like the reps?
It had a nice little quick.
You like the reps? Okay. Maybe I'll see if it sticks. We'll see. I know everyone knows I say later, Guardian, but I wanted to add a little bit something to it for our sign-offs.
No, I do actually like that as far as, because that is a you saying, and
it is.
It's, I was going to say it's cute. It's not cute. You know what I mean? It's fun.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
I just thought of it today.
It's something new.
I actually heard it from, of all people. I was watching Diary of a CEO. I was listening to his podcast today, and he had the man who wrote Atomic Habits. If you haven't read this book, guys, this is a book that's changed my life. It's a really good book. And he said, sometimes you just got to get your reps in. I'm like, I've been telling everybody this, get your reps in. So I figured I'd throw that in tonight. So
those who doth protest too much usually need the advice the most.
Exactly. There you go. Well, thanks.
Peter, get your reps in. I'm fine with my reps.
I mean, I heard it this week. It's funny though.
No, it is good advice. It really is. I just sometimes laugh at little sayings like that, because people always love saying them, but they don't mean much unless you know big picture stuff. But
I just thought I'm
not a sayings type of guy.
I know, but
for the fact of saying things,
everybody has their little catchphrase. And I said, man, Dan Finity has the best one. He goes,
do I have a catchphrase? I don't think I do.
You need to get one, because Dan Finity has one I love. I hope you get what you're grinding for. That is a great saying, especially for Destiny, man. But yeah.
No, my catchphrase is have a good one.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't like little words of wisdom catchphrases, though, is what I'm saying.
I got you, myself. Man. All right. Well, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight.